Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Week 8 in the NFL kicked off last night in Los Angeles. The Chargers smothered the Vikings 37-10. LA's 5-3 with the win. Minnesota's 3-4. Sunday at 1, the Browns are at the Patriots, while the Bengals host the New York Jets. A win for Cincinnati would put them at 4-4. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's on a bye this week. Buckeyes will host Penn State next Saturday at noon. In the NBA last night, amid the illegal gambling scandal, the Warriors improved to 2-0 as Steph Curry dropped 42 points on the Nuggets in Golden State's 137-131 win. The Cavaliers are in Brooklyn tonight to take on the Nets at 7:30. And on the ice Friday at Nationwide, the Blue Jackets look to make it 3 straight, hosting the Washington Capitals at 7. Hear that one on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. Jackets are in Pittsburgh tomorrow night. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmerises joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a football-ish Friday. There will be football played. There'll be high school football played tonight, college football played tonight, college football Saturday, NFL Sunday and Monday, and away we go. But no Buckeye games. 2 byes this season. This is the second of those 2 byes, and then we'll get the stretch run next week, starting with that game against Penn State. We're loaded up for you. Doug coming up at 9:45, a little earlier than normal to make way for Shelley time at 11:30. Tim May will join at 10:30. We will know the scores at 11 on a little bit of a heater on that side of things as well. We gave you the Thursday nighter. Reese, you had Chargers too, didn't you? Yeah, because you ran Go Chargers Go from Arnold. So we have that. So good. So we gave you a 1-0 already. Congratulations. Chargers Go. We are putting your kids through college here on the program. If you
do what we can
this season, yeah, I mean, you got to do that. You got to do what you can on these type of things. So we were going to talk about this a little bit yesterday, but I thought today was actually maybe the better day. And then we had basically what amounts to like a '90s movie theme day yesterday with the gambling rings and the Tony Soprano card games with Chauncey Billups playing in. We had a robbery at the Louvre out of Ocean's 14. I mean, we've had all these things this week that have kind of been out there, and they've pulled our attention. But one of the things that I did want to get to this week as we head into the second bye week, a week that Ryan Day is calling Improvement Week, is if you're having fun, are you enjoying this? The reason that we ask it is in part because of things that we do here. We talk all the time. When you have a team this good, you have to look for things that are minor. I'm sure Ryan Day did the same thing this week because he knows what the standard is. So you look for things that haven't become a problem yet that potentially could be. That's what you're looking for. Is it a problem right now that they can't run it when the other team knows they're going to run it? Not yet. Hasn't been. They haven't been in a 4-quarter game yet outside of the opener against Texas. So it's not an issue. Is the special team something that's hurt them yet? No, not really. I mean, they haven't been in a close game since the Texas game. They've controlled everything from that point going on, and really were in control of the Texas game. That seems so long ago, but there was not a second in that game where I thought that they were going to lose. It always felt like they would take care of business and win that game. And even as you're having this, and I'm saying this stuff out loud, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? As good as they spin it, and as good as they're playing defense, they might not need to be a team that can run it when you know they're going to run it. They might not need to be a team that's elite in special teams. And it led to this conversation. I think a lot of national folks have it this week, how it must be boring to be a Buckeye fan right now. Well, it's not boring at all. I'm having the time of my life, but I do think there is one thing that is out there that is abnormal about this year compared to the other championship years. And we're a long way from knowing if this team can navigate everything that happens in a championship, but they've certainly delivered everything that you'd want to this point in the season. Around here, it's rare that we have a team that is given the type of accolades that this team is given and that it actually delivers on the accolade without a bunch of speed bumps along the way. For as spoiled as we are around here, typically our best teams that start number one in the preseason don't win at all. Now, last year they did, but if you would have went to December 1st and said a year ago and said, yeah, this team's going to win the national championship, people would have had you committed. There was no way that anyone was going to make a run through that. So it took all of this adversity for the championship to manifest. And so we're not used to what's happening this year. And I think as Buckeye fans, you're out there going, yeah, but when's the shoe going to drop? Which is crazy because for 50 years, all you've done is win. But it is rare that your teams that everybody says, this is the best team in the country, this is the number one team in the country, those teams typically don't win it. There's a bunch of examples of this. You can go all the way back to 69. You can do it all the way back to 69. You can do it through the John Cooper years in the 90s. Some of Tress's teams, if you ask Bob and AJ and Threes and you say, what's the best team you played on? Mostly they'll say 05 was the best team they played on. That team lost twice. Lost at Penn State that year, lost it at Texas, lost here against Texas that year. So there are instances where your best teams don't win it. Think about 15. Most talented team that maybe ever played here and did not win a championship. Lost it here in a weird game against Michigan State. Last year was the one team where they started the year number one in the country, and then they actually ended the year number one in the country. But then you had these massive, massive roadblocks that happened along the way. The loss at Oregon, and then obviously what happened in the game against Michigan. So I think that while we are so used to all the success, typically when a championship happens, it comes a little bit out of nowhere, like 14, like 02, and like last year. They kind of surprise. Go all the way back to 68. Those guys are sophomores in 68. They should have won it in 69 and 70. But it was 68 when they won the national title as sophomores. So we are not used to being number one, staying number one, and then winning it all. So what Ryan Day and his group are trying to do this year, and I think I'm sure that's the focus of as they dubbed it, Improvement Week, is let's find problems that aren't really problems and fix them before they become problems. Because when you're chasing perfection, that's what you have to do.
I think it's where you kind of look to the run game. And while I won't call it a problem just yet, because I still think they're trying to figure out what their best 5+6 is, if that makes sense. So they're trying to figure out their 5 best on the offensive side, on the offensive front, where you see Josh Padilla getting more snaps last week against Wisconsin. And then they're still trying to figure out who exactly, which I think we know who the bell cow is. But
yeah,
do they,
so.
Are they ready to anoint 25? Like, it feels like just do it already. Like I'm the Shia LaBeouf gif. Like, just do it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, so not necessarily an issue, not necessarily a problem. I think something they're still tinkering with, because I don't necessarily think much like NASCAR. They had the Daytona 500 at the beginning, and now they're kind of just going around the track trying to tinker and making sure they have the best car for the playoffs.
That's a good analogy, actually, because the Daytona 500, the first 10 laps are awesome, and the last 10 laps are awesome. And everything else is around and round in circles.
Well, and like their biggest things at the beginning. Ohio State's biggest thing is at Texas or against Texas, and because James Franklin can't coach his way out of a shoebox. Now, Penn State really doesn't mean much, but don't get caught overlooking the Nittany Lions for the game at the end of next month.
It's funny, Bo, at the beginning you talked about, are we having fun with this year? And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I didn't have fun at all last year with this Buckeyes team until the month of December.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Buckeyes team last year played up to their capabilities for most of the year. We talked about, and you know what? The one loss to Oregon, they actually played pretty good. Were there some issues at the end? Yeah, but that was a great college football game. It sucks that you lost, but that might have been their best game of the year. until the playoff run. We talked about the Nebraska game. You were there, and it was just inexplicable. And it just seemed like this team that everybody came back to win a national championship because there was meat on the bone still. What the hell's going on was the way it was most of the year. Now, the loss to that team up north happened. We've heard about the players' meeting with Coach Day, and then guns a-blazing in the playoffs. Nothing to lose, and they just smoked everybody and won the national championship. But until that point, last year sucked for me as a Buckeye fan. I hated it. This year, everybody knows I picked Texas in the opener because I thought Texas had more questions, or at least amount of questions coming into the season than Ohio State did, because Ohio State had 2 new quarterbacks, a brand new quarterback, a brand new running back, all of those things. I just thought there were more questions. Well, Ohio State proved that they had least amount of questions than Texas. Texas obviously had more questions, and they've been struggling. Since that game against Texas, I haven't questioned this team one time. I had a weird feeling about Illinois because I thought just something would happen that would make that game clunky. Not that Ohio State would lose, but that it would be closer than it should, and that game was kind of clunky and weird. But other than that, I haven't had a bad feeling about this team one time. I've loved every minute of this season with this Buckeyes team. This is way more fun than last year.
I think I'm with you on it because it's almost house money. I know they're not thinking that way, right? Because they're trying to do what's not been done. I mean, they're the bandit and the Iceman. They're trying to do what can't be done or hasn't been done. That's what they're going for here. They're trying to win back-to-back national titles. They're trying to do so in a perfect fashion. They're trying to check every single box. But as someone who talks about them and as someone who roots for them, I feel like you won the lottery last year, and you're kind of playing again just to see if you can win it again. And if you do, unbelievable. And I heard Rothman Rice talking about this earlier in the week. Have you changed your kind of expectations on what is satisfactory this year? And I haven't. If they, to me, the only thing that you would hold feet to the fire on is beat Michigan. That's I almost want that almost as much as a national title.
Yes.
It's beat Michigan. Beat Michigan, win the Big Ten. And then the playoff, I almost view the college football playoff a little bit like the NFL playoffs, where yes, the cream should rise to the top, Macho Man, but at the same time, there's a million things that could factor into what happens in those games. There's injuries, team gets hot, there's no margin, those type of things. Anything can happen. So beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and then from that point on, make the Final Four, fine. But upsets can happen, crazy things can happen. I'm enjoying watching young players like this quarterback become a Heisman contender. I mean, that's fun for me. I'm enjoying this. Did you have a Macho Man drop you wanted to go for?
I just did the yeah. Real quick.
I thought maybe you had a cream one.
I don't have the cream ready. No,
cream
I just had that.
So great. But yeah, so I think this is pure joy. It's pure joy watching this team play. It's pure joy watching the weaponry. It will be nervy the last week in November. That's going to be a very nervy week because of what's happened in the last few years. And if you're young and you wanted to feel like what your parents felt like in the 90s, you're going to get that feeling this week. My kids already are talking about the Michigan game. So they know it. They know what's at stake in that one. But no, this idea that you're sitting here going this is boring. It's not boring at all. It's been a pure joy season to this point. We'll continue to revisit the Buckeyes as they about ready to embark on the stretch run as the show goes on. A really interesting conversation yesterday on the Ryan Day Show with our good buddy Mark Pantoni and some of the challenges that he is dealing with on the roster construction side of things. And he's the best in the business at it. Some illuminating stuff. We'll have that for you a little bit later on. Coming up next, sports last night. And there has never been a better time for ESPN to let Inside the NBA be Inside the NBA. If you missed it, we'll have some of the excerpts from it. It was spectacular. We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, 1 pound packs of Private Selection 80% lean Angus ground beef chuck are only $4.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, what are we going to do with these 41 new trucks you bought?
Those extra trucks are to make sure that we can always send someone to the rescue when a customer needs us.
Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians to the rescue.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna keep you warm all winter HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, you bought those 41 new trucks at exactly the right time.
I know, Jerry, because everyone, everywhere, is needing help with their furnace right now.
Summertime is when furnaces develop problems.
The contacts and relays and sensors get all wonky.
Because summertime is when furnaces are not being used.
And our technicians can unwonk them.
Get Eco.
ECO.
If you need someone to unwonk your furnace, get Eco.
Our technicians can unwonk anything.
And with 41 new trucks, they can get there fast, fast, fast. Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna keep you warm all winter HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to be at our very best all season. Hey guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did, go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at HydrateMeMedSpa.com.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect skies to be mostly sunny on this Friday after such a cold start, but still this afternoon we will struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s. As we go into tonight, partly cloudy and cold again with lows right around freezing. And then for Saturday, patchy frost in the morning, turning into partly sunny skies in the afternoon and highs in the mid to upper 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
It's Friday and there's football. I shall call it Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for all things football. The Fan. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and it's the final Capital Florida Columbus high school football game of the week. It heads to the Fan 2 this Friday. That's tonight. Olentangy hosting Berlin. Coverage starts at 6:30, kicks at 7. After the Blue Jackets game on the Fan, it's Byers, Subaru, Dublin overtime with Bake and Lee. Friday nights are for high school football on the Fan. So we're down from 16 to 12. So not only are you trying to, on the high school side of things, not only are you trying to get into the playoffs, you're dealing with seeding in the playoffs. And if you're a top 4 seed, then you're thinking about a bye in the postseason. So there's a lot of things that are on the line tonight in high school football throughout the state.
And, Bo, you talk about that with those two teams in our game tonight, both of them in Region 3. So not only does the winner win the OCC Cardinal, but Olentangy is sitting there at as the 3 seed in Region 3. And then Olentangy Berlin is the 11. So Berlin is trying to make sure that they're in this thing. Although I think they've probably already clinched a spot. But they want to jump up, obviously, and maybe even with a win could possibly get a home game in the first week. And Olentangy, they want to stay there and keep that bye.
And so that's happening throughout the state. Who's the best team in the state this year?
I mean, that's a great question. I know by computer points right now, it's Cincinnati Elder. They're number 1 in the state right now. I mean, it's hard to go against like a St. Ed's, an Elder, a Moeller, although Elder did beat Moeller. Here in town, it's probably either Watterson or Olentangy Orange. Watterson probably with a win tonight. They're playing St. Charles. Olentangy Orange has a tough one, though, taking on Liberty.
Yeah. That's fun that all the Olentangy. It's rival. It's the last one, right? The big rival at the end, and
they do that smart in Olentangy.
Yeah, they do that very good. This is the weekend for Massillon McKinley too, which is one of those ones that I've got to get to at some point, but I want to see it at Paul Brown. I think this week it's in McKinley, which is Fawcett, which is the Hall of Fame stadium.
Yeah, Tom Benson, which is a great venue, obviously.
It is. I mean, it's the best. It might be
that's
top
tomorrow
3 stadium in the state.
That's 2
They do
o'clock?
it Saturday.
Is that a 2
They always
o'clock
do it Saturday
kick?
afternoon. Always Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
Jay-Z was in here this morning on Morning Juice.
Well, you
Speaking
remember
of
him,
that rivalry.
Yeah, you remember him in Sports Illustrated as a high school quarterback at Massillon, sticking his head out the window when they played, I think, the 100th time that they played. There's some great ones out there. So I love it. And it seems like it's going to be crisp and cool, but hopefully the rain stays away throughout the state and you're able to have some great games on the final football Friday for everybody in the state.
We need to finish it on a high note. The weather has been good all year long. Let's finish it that way.
Yeah. Speaking of finishing on a high note, this was actually starting on a high note. One thing I think we were all kind of concerned about is when Inside the NBA went to ESPN, would they let them be themselves? Day 2 of Inside the NBA on ESPN, they were dealt this gambling scandal. I forgot they were on. We had finished dinner last night, and everybody kind of scattered to play video games and whatever. And I came into the office, and I threw it on and was just kind of bouncing around channels, seeing if there was something on to watch. And I saw Inside the NBA, and I turned it on. And I turned it on as this discussion was happening on the gambling scandal. Without much surprise, I think the most candid, they were all pretty candid, but the one that was most straight to the core was Charles Barkley. So Barkley weighed in on the gambling scandal. Now, this comment is coming out of Kenny talking about how gambling is an addiction. And as Kenny is saying that, Chuck, you can see in the 3-shot is fuming. Like it's bugging him as Kenny's saying it.
You actually hear him like
scoff.
Yeah.
So here is Chuck's rebuttal to Kenny saying gambling is an addiction.
The reason I'm mad at Kenny is, man, this ain't got nothing to do with damn gambling addiction. This ain't got nothing to do with addiction. These dudes are stupid. Why are they stupid? You, under no circumstances can you fix basketball games. Under no circumstances. I love to gamble. The notion, like, Rozier makes $26 million. Him betting, giving people information or taking himself out of games, how much is he gonna benefit taking himself out the game to get unders? Like, he's making $26 million. The notion he gave, how much of these guys he gave a head up, He took himself out of games on prop bets. How much money is he gonna make? Someone goes and uses drugs when they in the NBA. Hey, drugs are addiction. So there's no gambling addiction? No, yeah, they are gambling addiction. But the notion that you're trying to make sure these guys being addicted, you can't fix basketball games. You cannot fix. Like I say, this is separate from Chauncey. But the notion that guys are making all this money and giving information, come on, man, stop that. Ain't got nothing to do with addiction. That's just total stupidity on these two dudes' parts.
They also, Chuck was also very candid that it was on the NBA for not doing a better job in their investigation of all of this. And so this leads to, excuse me, kind of the next part of this, which is the Lakers and LeBron James. So LeBron James, if you dig into this, ESPN reporting that James was a prominent player. James has not been accused of wrongdoing in the indictment, but former 11-year NBA player Damon Jones was arrested Thursday. He was one of those guys. We talked about that yesterday. Allegedly disclosed privileged information about a prominent basketball player to facilitate illegal sports betting. Authorities announced. ESPN is saying that the prominent player was LeBron James. And so there's this thing. I don't even know how big this could get, but it's going to get a lot bigger is my guess on this. And I'm not sure exactly when it's going to end, but I'm glad that Inside's there for the perspective because it was riveting for 15 minutes, Reese.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like one of the things that I liked, I use Hulu and I have like their live television feature that I can go back and watch it. And then so when I saw the Kenny and Shaq and Charles' opinions percolate on Twitter, I went back to watch it because I'd also forgotten it was on. Because there were only 2 games in the association last night, and like 1 billion points were scored in both of them. Mm-hmm. But the idea, and this was similarly the last couple of nights, it's still inside the NBA. They just slapped an ESPN logo on it. Mm-hmm. But for everything else, they've left it completely unchanged, and it's still the best studio show in all of sport, really. And the fact that they'd even said this was the tip of the iceberg for this, and that it's all, some of it's separate, but it's all sort of connected in just how, first off, nationwide, how the mafia is involved with both of these things.
Yeah.
And the Damon Jones stuff is fascinating from a standpoint of where he was on Darvin Ham's staff when he was the head coach of the Lakers, but he was in an unpaid position because he's LeBron's guy. Mm-hmm. And that he would go and do that and kind of drag LeBron into this mess. Texting these bookies saying, think about put money on this, bet enough so I can eat too. Like it's wacky.
I'm with Chuck. I think it's a failure of intelligence.
Yeah.
So
minimum.
I think it's funny because I think Kenny's wrong when he says gambling is an addiction. Gambling can be an addiction. Mm-hmm. But it's not always an addiction. And listen, I don't know if a gambling addiction had anything to do with this, but if it did, I would say it was these guys got in trouble with the wrong people because of their gambling addiction, and then it got them wrapped up into this because this was their way to get out of it. Chances are, though, no matter what it is, these guys were up to something no good, and they got caught in a situation where they felt like they had no choice, I'm guessing, or as Chuck said, they are just stupid.
Or maybe they're just wildly greedy.
I think it's a little bit of all of it.
But if they're wildly greedy, that's stupid.
Well, sure. Yeah, of course. And I think the thing for a guy like Chuck, who never made $26 million in a year, even though there were times when he was the best player, certainly in the conversation as the best player on the planet, won the MVP in 93. The thing that I think for him is hard is like, dude, you're making $26 million as a role player. What are you risking all of this for? But for some, I mean, this goes back to, I mean, it's a great line in the classic movie Heat. For him, the action is the juice. And for some of these guys, this action is what fuels, and greed and stupidity and all of those things. But I mean, it was surreal how this played out yesterday. Chauncey Billups walking out of a courtroom in Portland, and we've heard statements from both him and Rozier saying innocent, innocent, innocent. We've had people vouch for Chauncey Billups. There's just a lot of layers to it, and it does play straight out of like a 90s crime thriller is what it, like a movie. It reads like fiction.
I thought it was so funny yesterday when you're looking into this and perusing Twitter and everything, and you see, the NBA has indefinitely suspended Chauncey Billups and well, no kidding. Like, did we have to say that? Like, we knew that. They're probably never going to participate in the league again.
Yeah.
I just, that was just struck me as so funny. Like, I think we all knew that.
Well, yeah, and the LeBron factor of this, how that's covered is going to be fascinating to me because he's almost always been bulletproof.
Nothing ever on him.
Never. Nothing. I mean, the only thing in his whole resume that you could say was he left his hometown team awkwardly. That's it. There's nothing else. Everything else is pristine. So I think how that's covered is going to be very fascinating over the next couple of days and weeks. It's been fascinating watching Matt Patricia coordinate this Buckeye defense as the best in the country. And there is something that clicked here, and Ryan knew it, and maybe Matt knew it too. He subbed for Ryan on Ryan's show yesterday. It was a fascinating conversation. We'll have some of the highlights coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
If you love losing big money, then boy do we have the promo code for you. Enter code BIGBEAUTIFULBILL to unlock these awesome offers. You can buy a car for even more money than before, or watch your heat and electric bills skyrocket. It's exclusive for everyone, thanks to Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, which our Senator John Huston supported. So use promo code BIGBEAUTIFULBILL. Sit back and crack open a cold one, but just one because that's all you can afford. Paid for by NRDC Action Fund.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Just announced. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all 2025 Tucson and Tucson hybrids. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit ends 11/3.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a football Friday. No Buckeye game tomorrow. Penn State will be here next week for a noon kick at the stadium. But what this does allow for us is a little bit of perspective on how good this has gone so far. And as much as Julian Sand has been the national conversation this week, although we've been talking about him since all the way back in late July, really going back to a year ago, the story of this football team, I do think I can fairly say, is the defense. That's been the story, that replacing 8 starters, this defense is better this year than it was last year, which seemed impossible in July. You knew that they had talent. You knew they had the best defensive player in America in Caleb Downs, but you didn't know how it would all come together. I will say this. Reese and I were doing the shows at the 2 practices in July, the 2 open practices, which are just pure joy to be able to go to. And I know you and I took notice of this. As Matt Patricia was out coaching the defense, his wife and kids came across the field to watch. And you went, oh, that's nice. That's really cool. Was he able to do that all the time in Detroit and New England? And everything that's followed, whether it's him walking into the stadium with his kids and his family, all of these things, there is something that is so infectious about the collegiate experience. It's changed a lot everywhere else. But even someone who spent the majority of his time in the National Football League, all of a sudden you get everything that comes with college football, everything that makes us all love it so much. And you can see how it's working on him. Do we know if Matt Patricia is going to be here for a decade coordinating defense? Probably not. He's probably not going to do it. College football is a little bit of a mess right now, and if given the opportunity to get back to the National Football League, you probably would take it. That said, in this moment, it appears he's having the time of his life. So he was on the Ryan Day show yesterday and touched on myriad topics. Let's start when the fellas asked him about the biggest difference between college and pro.
The biggest difference probably is just overall the age. These kids they're young, and I look at some of them and I'm sitting in meetings and I have to ask myself again, I'm like, how old are you again? And they're like, I'm 19 and my son's 14. I'm like, woof. I'm like, that's, you just forget, when you're dealing with 30-year-olds or 29-year-olds, professional athletes. The work ethic and the way they look at the game is all the same. It's just, I want to make sure that the detail is right for them, that they understand. A lot of times at the professional level, you may not be able to get those reps. You just got to tell them once and they have to be able to do it. That's the difference here. I want to make sure that they see it. They're on the field, they're getting the rep, and they're able to kind of like make sure that they have it down, and just making sure I'm conscious of that.
So that's the biggest difference in terms of what attracted him to Ohio State. Here's Patricia's answer to that.
I mean, when I walked in, I think the biggest thing for me was I just wanted to observe, like, what do we have? So spend a lot of the spring just watching our guys. And for me, it's always about, like, hey, I got to figure out what do you do well, and then how do I put you in that position to do that well? And so it was a lot of observation, like, hey, these guys can do this or these guys can do that. I think for me, if I just make it all about scheme, then it's really wrong. I need to make it about the players and what do our players do well. So in the spring, it was pretty clear. I was looking at a couple of our players and especially our backers, and I'm going, okay, there's some things we can do here that kind of let these guys, cut them loose a little bit. So it's been great, and like I said, the staff has done a really good job of teaching all of that. There's a lot of teaching and coaching that goes along with it, but our kids they've dove into it. The staff has dove into it. So it makes it fun on game day. You come to the sideline, you're like, okay, hey, what's next? What do you want to show? What do you want to do? Like, let's spin this look over here. Or let's, kind of stress the offense a little bit with this look. So that makes it fun.
Do you know how intelligent that is and how refreshing that is to observe first? So many people in football and sports and life and job, especially if you're a big hire, they come in and they say, we're going to do this my way. And this is what I do. And what Patricia did here, and I've heard this from myriad people on his staff, is Patricia came in here and he said, well, what do we have? Where are we good? Where are our strengths and weaknesses? And he went and he said, 0 looks pretty good. At the time, 6. Oh, I like 8. And 2. Okay. Well, this is something. And then he built the defense on the strengths. I'm not going to, there's no sense in bearing Jim Knowles at all because he coordinated an incredible defense that won a national championship. But one of the things Jim did when he came in here that was different is he said, you're going to do my defense. And it took a while. Look at Penn State now. There was a story last week at Penn State about how difficult it's been for them to grasp what he wants them to do defensively. That's not what Matt did. Matt came in here and said, what do you guys do well? Where are our strengths? How can I accentuate that? That's big brain on that. And it's also a lack of ego. Saying, I'll build this around what we have versus you're going to build to my will. It's an impressive thing. Now, he's won Super Bowl championships and all of those things. So with that comes, I'm sure, a great deal of confidence. But that's a refreshing thing to hear. And that's a lesson for football, for life, for Matt Patricia.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, in my opinion, is just a guy that has done it all at every level. The guy that's done it all at the highest level, coming in with that kind of understanding. I've got to work with the things that I've got because I can't go get anybody for right now. What I have is what I have. And it's an incredible thing to me that Jim Knowles went to Penn State still thinking that his system was the one that takes 2 years to build, that was going to be successful. You cannot, in college football, maybe not even in the NFL, be successful if a build takes more than a season.
No.
Because of the transfer portal. Like, that's full stop. Yeah. You do not have time to say, well, we'll get it right in year 2. We'll get it extra right in year 3. It's like, you don't have time anymore to do this. So it's a major credit to Matt Patricia for coming in and saying, what do I have? What am I going to use? Now, his ingredients are the best you have in the country, so the food's going to be really good. And what we've been served through 7 games in 8 weeks has been just that. But the idea that he stepped back, he talked to his coaches, he talked to his players, said, what does everybody do well? What does everybody do the best? And I'm going to fit a system around that. And it's not only impressed on the field, but it's historic. Should tell everybody this is the proper way to go about it, not look at what Jim Knowles has tried to do.
Bo, I was listening to that from Patricia, and I was thinking, one way with it, and then what you said made me think another way with it, but it all kind of ties together. So one thing I've always done in my career is I've loved watching other people, how they do things. I love watching like play-by-play. I love seeing different guys, how they compile their notes and their charts, and I try to take something from all of them and make it into something that works for me. And when I used to teach at the broadcasting school, I used to always tell kids when I was teaching them how to edit audio, I'd be like, this is how I do it. Now, I want you to go watch 4 or 5 other people and see how they do it, because they're going to have things that they do differently than me, or shortcuts that they've known, that and things just compute to their brain different than mine. And then some of those things may make sense to you, and you're going to find your own style. And because there's not always one way to skin a cat, right? Like there's multiple ways to do it. And AR probably hates me now because I just used that reference. But you can learn so much just by observing other people. And then the other thing I was thinking is, what a difference Matt Patricia is now from Matt Patricia was the head coach of the Lions. Like when he was the head coach of the Lions, we thought this is just some dude that's dry and no personality and
tried being Belichick.
And that's the thing. He learned he learned to dog by watching Bill Belichick, and that doesn't work for everyone. And now he's gotten away from that, and he's learned from his failures in doing that. He's grabbed things from other people, and he's got his own style now. And he just, to me, like Matt Patricia seems like a guy that I would want to go sit and have a couple beers with and talk for hours.
The perception of him and the reality that we know here could not be more different. He's crushed all of it. He's absolutely crushed all of it. And it's a joy to watch this defense play, because it allows for everything else that's happening offensively. And so when you do nitpick things that are here or there that are maybe you want to try to turn them into issues, you can always fall back on, but who's scoring on that defense? We do it every time when we make the picks on a Friday. And I look at the spread and I go, geez, 24.5. But then you say to yourself, well, hell, I think last week it was 26.5, 27.5 for Wisconsin. And you're going, well, yeah, but are they going to get 7? How are they going to get 7? And the reality is they didn't, and they're not. And this defense probably still has another gear that we haven't even seen yet. Doug Lesmerises in a couple of minutes coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Everyone deserves a great car, regardless of credit. At Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall, we say yes to all credit types. Explore our selection, get financed in minutes, and own the road. Stop in today or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. The faucet in the master bath, it's throwing childish fits.
In a flash, I'm at your door to win your water war. I battle leaks and clogs and drips until I are no more. Free service call with your plumbing repair. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, it's Anthony Schlegel. When it was time to replace my roof, friends highly recommended Newman Roofing. From the initial sales process, I was incredibly impressed by their commitment to outstanding customer service. Their 33 years of industry experience truly shine through, and it's clear why they have such an excellent reputation. I had the pleasure of meeting with the Newman family to discuss my roofing project. They presented me with several options and attentively addressed all my concerns and demonstrated a genuine care for their customers and the overall experience they provide. With family members in key roles within the company, they ensure that every customer feels confident in their decision to choose Newman Roofing. I highly recommend giving Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting newmanroofing.com.
Call the company you can trust. Newman Roofing at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Your credit doesn't define your ride. Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall approves all credit types, good, bad, or rebuilding. Get behind the wheel today. Call 614-861-7150 or apply online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
At Giant Eagle, we're helping bring the holiday magic home. Because your get-togethers bring everyone together. Because you make the holidays feel like the holidays. Because nothing beats free. From October 16th to November 6th, spend $350 and earn a free turkey on your next visit. Redeem through November 30th. Giant Eagle. Because it matters. Must scan My Perks loyalty card to earn and redeem. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City. Walk-ins are always welcome.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed, it is a little earlier than normal, and we do appreciate our good buddy Doug Lesmerises being flexible with us this morning. He joins on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube, Substack Bill and Doug on Ohio State football. You can check it out there. We started the show with this, and I'm curious your view of it. A lot of conversation this week nationally around the Buckeyes, and has this been an enjoyable season for Ohio State because everything has come so easy? I've enjoyed it because I've enjoyed watching young guys grow into new spots and look forward to the stretch run. Where are you on how you've observed this Buckeye football team this year?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it fun when Nick Saban was beating people 13-10 and winning 6 national titles? Was that enjoyable? Were we sitting around asking if Alabama was enjoyable? God, why are people bored by excellence? Like they are mature even. Like they're professional. they're poised, right? They are the most efficient team both sides of the ball in the country. And so they don't give up explosive plays on defense, right? They don't have a guy like Chase Young who's necessarily beating the tackle every play and get in the backfield, although Arvell Reese obviously is spectacular. Caden Curry has been fantastic. And then like Jeremiah Smith, their go-to guy is kind of like killing people with 10-yard outs, right? So I don't even know. Now we're just in a world where people want every game to be like an SEC defenseless 42-41, like Ole Miss, Missouri shootout that we're supposed to think is great football. Like I don't think the SEC a decade ago was all defense. Now half the time they're no defense, and it's whatever the SEC does, that's great ball. So Ohio State has the best defense in the country, and now suddenly the country's bored by that.
I think there's some truth to some of that, and I want to table your SEC comments for just a second because I have a question for you on that. But I think what it is a little bit is it's a little boring to be Real Madrid in terms of someone who's covering it. Where's the antagonist? Now, we've got an antagonist that you're going to have to deal with in a month. Yeah. But you go into these week in and week out, and it's 26.5 and it's 28.5. So I'm here on a Monday going, all right, I got to find a molehill that I can try to make a decent-sized mountain out of in terms of trying to compare this to where the problems are going to arise later in the season. And honestly, Doug, and I said this multiple times on the show, I don't think there are any. I think they're that good. That doesn't mean they're going to win every game they play, But they certainly, there's nothing that they're not doing now that I think will come back to haunt them. And I think that's the thing that's a little tricky about covering dominance.
So, I mean, we have long, the 2010s, man, or wherever, like that trestle stretch between the back-to-back national title games in 06 and 07. I mean, I guess it wasn't that many more years of trestle. But anyway, like, I can go back. I thought Ohio State was boring good for quite a bit of a stretch there. Mm-hmm. Probably actually like between like 5 and 10, right? 2005 to 2010, that nobody in the Big Ten could hang with them. And then it was like, well, if they get to the national title game, can Ohio State hang with the SEC? And so, but those teams, like those trestle teams, were fantastic. But then they'd play games against like a MAC team and be like, man, that was 24-9. Like, was that great? Like, I do think that as this version of Ohio State is being boring, they are being more dominant boring. So, like, honestly, if you've been around Ohio State and the people listening to you right now have been following Ohio State their whole lives, boring good that's no stranger, right? Ohio State fans have been through this before, but the difference is actually before, in the past, the boring good came with the, is this good enough? Mm-hmm. And I wrote in our Substack this year, it's the era of looking over your shoulder is over at Ohio State, because it always used to be, and I covered Ohio State this way for 20 years mostly. Does this beat Bama? Whatever Ohio State does this beat Bama? That's not how I'm thinking anymore. It's not because it's not important, but it's because my answer is yes. Mm-hmm. It does beat Bama. Like you said, it doesn't guarantee anything. But we've talked about special teams. We've talked about the run game. We've talked about, do you need more explosive pass plays, right? We find little things where they can be better. But looking over your shoulder it's like a boogeyman off in the distance. Something's waiting for you on the other side of the forest. And I don't think anything's waiting for Ohio State. So if that makes it boring, so be it. But the other thing is, Ohio State is the team that's waiting for everybody else. Mm-hmm. Everything Georgia and Bama and Miami and Oregon and Indiana, everything all those teams do, they're thinking, does this beat Ohio State?
You're exactly right. I mean, we literally do something called Buckeye Blitz on a Monday, where one of the segments for 7 years that I've been, at least we change it this year, but the whole time Saban there was, won't beat Bama if this. So, yes, that was, now it's the other way. Won't beat Ohio State if we do this, and everybody else is looking up at the Buckeyes. The one thing that the SEC is winning at is the battle of perception, and this is something you and I talk about a lot. There are, for reasons beyond any explanation that I can come up with, 10 SEC teams ranked in the top 25, including LSU, who sucks. Texas isn't any good now either, and we've seen that. I watched them play last week against Kentucky. They were lucky to survive that game. But the other part of it is perception is becoming reality in terms of the viewership. And I'm sure you've seen this. The idea that Ole Miss and Georgia did almost 10 million. We have been conditioned as a public to believe that it's the best, and now they're being viewed that way. And I think the Big Ten is somewhat at fault with this, Doug, because of the additions they did 10 years ago of Rutgers and Maryland, and thinking that they would elevate those two programs, which has been a soapbox of mine for a decade. The other thing that the Big Ten didn't do is they didn't play the hits. It's absurd that Ohio State has not played USC yet. And you and I have talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
The leadership has to view the Big Ten differently. And I'm hoping when this thing gets redone and they redo their television things, they understand that you have got to play the hits on a weekly basis. You can't go multiple years without Ohio State playing USC, without playing Penn State. You've got to give people what they want. You're in the business of making television shows, man.
Yeah, I the balance, the quote balance of the schedule, and that the 5-year schedule that they did that we're in the midst of now is, you play a rival, and then Ohio State, the other 5 teams, you're playing them 3 times or twice, right? Like there's everything is equal, and God forbid that you would not treat Oregon and Purdue the exact same way. Like that wouldn't be fair. It's like, Purdue, here's your money. We're not treating you the same way. And actually, I'm not sure Rutgers and Purdue and teams like that would be so mad about playing Ohio State less. Right? Yeah. Like, hey, we're gonna play Ohio State against Oregon and USC and Penn State a little more, and you a little less. They'd be like, sign me up. We're getting to a bowl. Like, let's play the lesser teams. I wonder about that, right? I mean, there's a lot with the TV ratings right now about. I think they've changed the way some of the things are done, and I do think like when we're talking about the one thing I would say is when we're talking about SEC ratings. we're talking about ESPN ratings. And so is Ole Miss getting that number because it's the SEC or because it's ESPN? And because maybe like just this TV package, which is also on the Big Ten for doing it this way, like I do think the production value and the promotion and that kind of thing, you're fighting two behemoths now because it's the SEC and ESPN against the world. So we know that Ohio State has been the most popular draw in college football, but you've got to find a way. Again, this has been a good stretch of Ohio State games. Illinois, Minnesota, and Washington are all 5-2. Damon Williams, I want to watch that guy play. Coy Parrish, I want to watch that guy play. Luke Altmaier, Hank Beatty, give me Gabe Akins. There's some guys that I want to watch play, and if the Big Ten can't sell that, it's not like Ohio State's been playing Purdue and Rutgers.
No,
they played three teams that are still in the playoff mix, and yet was it not enough? So I do think there's plenty to talk about with how this league and its TV partners sell itself, and at some point perception becomes reality, and as you said, the SEC and ESPN continue to win the perception battle.
Yeah, they do. We always win when we have you on. Appreciate your time, buddy, as always.
Thanks, man. Talk soon.
All right, there he goes. Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Substack, Bill and Doug on Ohio State football. Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. College football learned and earned. I feel like Lane Kiffin wins this every week, even this week after a loss. He had a hell of a tweet yesterday. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
More and more these days, people who are in pain are taking control of their health and looking beyond traditional medicine. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell. People just like you are finding lasting relief without steroids, medication, or surgery. Right here in Columbus at QC Kinetics. You'll be treated by highly regarded orthopedic surgeon Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sports Medicine. Here's how it works. Your blood contains tiny but mighty healing tools. At QC Kinetics, Dr. Tesner and his team get to the root of where your pain stems from, right down to the cells involved. By putting these natural elements to work, your body can revitalize your joints, literally using your own power to heal. It's a simple injection, not a hospital stay. It's fast, all natural, and there's no downtime. If your back, knees, or shoulders are keeping you from enjoying life, explore all your options before you agree to more pills or surgery. Find out if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Matty Ice here for McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently brought a brand new Chevy Trax from McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far, guys, the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now, you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $315 a month with zero due at signing for qualified buyers. They're going to treat you like family just like they did me. There's just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
We have made our community a very important part of our business. One of the things that many people may not realize is that I was born and raised in Columbus. Our plant is in Columbus. All of our employees are from Ohio. And the community hears about all that stuff. And so the community trusts us.
See for yourself. Visit RosatiWindows.com or come to our showroom located at 4200 Roberts Road.
Did someone say jackpot? The Ohio Lottery's Mega Millions jackpot is at least $680 million. That's $680 million. Jackpots start at $50 million and grow faster than ever. Play today and pick up the new $5 Win Big Scratch Off. It has a top prize of $100,000, and non-winning tickets can be entered into My Lotto Rewards for a chance to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets, and even a trip to football's biggest game. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Blue Jackets look to make it 3 straight. CBJ are back on home ice tonight hosting the Capitals. Face-off is 7 o'clock. It's a touch of gray, 3rd jersey night for Columbus. You can hear the game on the Fan with pregame coverage at 6:30. Jackets look to build off Tuesday's 5-1 win at Dallas. Columbus is at Pittsburgh tomorrow night. In the NFL, Week 8 kicked off last night with the Chargers beating the Vikings 37-10. LA's Justin Herbert threw 3 touchdowns in the win. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's on the bye in Week 9. It's their 2nd of the season. OSU will host Penn State next Saturday at noon, and the Nittany Lions are also idle tomorrow. In the NBA, league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 55 points, but the Thunder fell to the Pacers 141-135 in double overtime last night in Indy. The Cavs are in Brooklyn tonight to take on the Nets. Cleveland looks to rebound from Wednesday's loss to the New York Knicks. This update sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour here on a Buckeye-less Football Friday. Time for some college football learned and earned. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present Learned and Earned. What we learned this week and who's earned a drink.
Sponsored by Go Brewing. Visit gobrewing.com/thefan and claim your buy one, get one free 6-pack of Go Brewing.
So you can nominate your own. You can do so in the YouTube chat. You can do it on social as well at 971BFS, and we will hand those out a little bit later. I made Go Brewing my officially endorsed this week on a First Friday for their Michelada, which is a delight. I think I deserve one, and I'm going to tell you why. This morning, dropping off at the school, at 7:41, up until 7:41, there are waivers that are... Okay, so let me just start here. There's a semicircle drop-off at the middle school. Okay, so you come down this long road, and there's a semicircle drop-off. Up until 7:41, there are waivers that will make sure that the car who's up... Think about this. These are adults. But they have to have waivers, like little kids and a couple of principals that have to wave kids and wave their parents all the way around the semicircle so that you can unload like 15 cars at once and everybody can get into the school. When those waivers go at 7:41, to me, it's a test of, are you a good member of society? So as I drive up to the semicircle, the boys, the 2 oldest, are in the car, and they call it a clutch. Like, will I get a clutch is what they call it. So what they're banking on is that the car ahead of us will stop, and they'll be able to walk right into the school in front of the doors. So we're driving in today, no waivers. The car right ahead of us, the kid in that car got out way before. So he went, at the beginning of the semicircle, he walked a long way. So fine. Okay, fine. So now it's up to me to decide where I'm going to drop off. Am I going to drop off right in front of the doors, or am I going to pull all the way around to the end of the semicircle and make them walk the furthest distance to the doors to get into school? Well, I'm trying to raise men here. I want to be a good part of society. So I pull all the way around to the furthest possible place so that theoretically 15 cars can unload their kids at once. Because it's the right thing to do. So I do it. And the boys get out. The car behind me leaves 8 spots empty and unloads their kid at the front door. Now, if you have a special needs situation, certain instances where pass. I get it. Fine. This was not that. This is just laziness. And this was just making sure little Timmy Tryhard could just walk 6 steps to the door. It's a bad job.
You don't need an air traffic controller. You can do it yourself.
People are the worst. Like, you know what the process is. Just pull around. 15 people can get out.
I bet that person doesn't return their shopping cart either.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Also, I'll just say it, and this is going to be harsh. They're probably a selfish lover.
I didn't see that coming.
Where's the time?
You almost got a spit take out of me on that.
Where's the type of sex drop?
Just saying.
That was right there. Jeez, man. Like, just because the waivers, it's a test of your integrity.
Also, when you said waivers, I thought like pieces of paper.
Oh, yeah.
Sign.
They get physical waivers who are saying, come on. And there's 2 principals out there to make sure that the parents do it. But as soon as what are you teaching little Timmy Tryhard?
Having sex.
I want to also nominate those 2 school employees, whether it's the vice principal or one of the guidance counselors, because you're doing the Lord's work.
You are.
It's funny that you nominated yourself, because I was also going to nominate myself. Like the hamburger, oftentimes you might just stumble into brilliance. And before we were doing 20 most interesting programs back in the summertime, you had asked you'd asked Baker and I to argue for a team that you hadn't thought of to be one of the 20 most interesting programs. And I had said UCLA, thinking it would be interesting to have Nico Iamalieva and a hold of that story, at least from a perspective from someone in Westwood, and discuss how all of that's going to go. Not thinking at the time it would be one of the most interesting programs in the country. And for Tim Skipper and company, who are right now have won 3 in a row, 3-1 in conference play, it'll probably come to an end tomorrow against UCLA, but I'll also nominate Tim Skipper and company for doing that. Here's Curt Cignetti when he began his weekly press conference. I think this was on Tuesday.
Okay. UCLA, we're playing a 3-0 football team that's undefeated. That's 3-0 in the conference. Since they have retooled their staff and now have their new defensive coordinator and offensive staff in place, very impressive football team. Okay.
Like, I don't think that team in Indiana is going to overlook the Bruins. No. And it's from hearing that before he even said anything about Michigan State, who UCLA had beat last week, and their opponent from last week for Indiana, which I forget off the top of my head. They might have been on a bye. But the idea that he just said UCLA, they're 3-0.
They're 3-0, baby. Can't say they're not, Reese.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
So I know we talked about this one earlier in the week, but when you set the all-time NCAA rushing record, any division, I think Monty Quinn deserves himself some Go Brewing. He's the running back for Curry College. They beat Nichols 71-27 this past weekend. In the game, he rushes for 522 yards and 7 touchdowns on only 20 carries. If I remember from Monday, we did the math. That was 26.1 yards a carry for him in that game. The previous record was actually owned here in Ohio by Heidelberg's own Cartel Brooks. He rushed for 465 yards back in the 2013 season. On the year, Mr. Quinn has rushed for 1,450 yards, 17 touchdowns. He's topped 110 yards in all 6 of Curry's game. He's gone over 200 3 times. If you are wondering, the Division I, which is FBS, the record for rushing yards in a game was by the Cincinnati Bengals' Samaje Perine. When he was an Oklahoma Sooner back in 2014, he rushed for 427 yards. Monty Quinn beat that by almost 100.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is why Kiffin's had a great week, even though he lost. I mean, he lost at Georgia. But with all of these coaches firing, his name is constantly percolating. So he had two things this week that were very funny to me on social. This was 2 days ago. This was on Wednesday. Pete Thamel tweeted out that Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello is finalizing a deal to become the next manager of the San Francisco Giants, which is a massive story for a college baseball coach to be the manager of a Major League Baseball team. So that in of itself is a massive story. But somebody quote tweeted, "Early name to watch for Tennessee opening," and it's Lane Kiffin in an Ole Miss baseball jersey throwing a baseball, and Lane Kiffin retweeted it. And then he said, "Actually, I'm even better at social media. Here's my beer." All of this conjecture about him leaving Ole Miss, there's a Twitter account called Trust God, Bruh, and it tweeted out, God has already worked it out. Stop worrying." And Kiffin quote tweeted that, "Nothing to worry about." Do you see why I love this guy?
I love it.
He just has all the personality. It's just so much fun.
Trust him, bro.
Trust him, bro. It's all that.
Sounds like something that would drive you nuts that your kids would say. Come on, bro.
Reese, I know.
I get that all the time. Bro, bro. Can you please do your homework? Bro. Not your bro. Sorry, what do you want me to say? Yes, Dad, is what I want you to say. And then do it.
Reese, I know we've got a couple in the YouTube chat that have been nominated. Chimney Cheekwas Burner says Cash Patel for keeping the NBA on the up and up. Cardinal 99 has a good one. I think Ronnie Hickman and his throw it to me Tua. I like this one from My Mills, though. He says Diego Pavia gets the beer. I thought this was interesting. Barton Simmons, I don't know how many of you guys know him, though. He's the Mark Pantoni of Vanderbilt football.
Okay.
He had a quote on Pavia this week, and it's so funny. And somebody said, Bruce Feldman said that him describing Pavia reminded him of Cam Scattaboo. He said, one of the great things about Diego is his delusion of how great he is and how great he can be, and yet at what point does it stop being delusional?
That's a great line.
I mean, that is self-confidence that man Diego Pavia has in himself.
It's healthy arrogance. Who threw that nomination out there for Pavia?
I believe it was My Mills in the YouTube chat. Yeah, My Mills.
I like that for this week.
Has Pavia been? I just want to see how he was against, the best competition. In the Bama, he struggled in the Bama game. 21-35, 198, a touchdown and a pick. Pretty good against LSU last week. 14-22, still 63% completions. Did he rush it for a decent amount? 86 with 2 touchdowns against LSU. Yeah, it's funny. I had no idea where you were going with that, but when you said Scattaboo, that's kind of what he reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that.
They won't be denied.
Yeah, no, they won't be. Bootsy, by the way, won the Scattaboo competition last night with the pads. And,
any blood?
You left him bloodied?
Yeah, bloody nose. He pretty much gets a bloody nose every single time they play it. Beamsy's strat on it is to just grab him by the back of the shoulder pads and just throw him down.
We can't do that.
I said, that's horse collar.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
15-yarder.
Gonna break his fibula.
He goes, what do you want me to do? He has pads. I don't. I'm like, well, he's 2 years older. What do you want? You're 2 years older than him. You should be able to dominate.
Take out his ankles.
Yeah. All right. Who do you want to give it to from our great friends at Go Brewing?
I think it was My Mills there that nominated Diego Pavia.
Okay.
And we also got to find out who the general manager for Vanderbilt's football team is.
Barton Simmons.
I mean, you're seeing every week it feels like there's an article on Stanford's general manager, whose name is escaping me right now, but he's an NFL court. Thank you. Like, I couldn't think of Andrew Luck, but like the general manager position is so important in the sport, and like now you know who Vanderbilt's is. Georgia Tech's got a guy that has put them in a national conversation because that's the kind of position you need to succeed in college football, and it was kind of invented here.
It was, and it's a good job out of you. That's a professional segue out of you, because every single person who holds that job in college football looks up at Mark Pantoni, because he and Urban invented the position. And he was on the Ryan Day show yesterday, and it was fascinating stuff. We'll get to it coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we helped Tom.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been a patient at Tri-State Men's Health, and I'm being treated for low testosterone. I didn't really notice the issue of just the energy and feeling slow in the middle of the day and waking up feeling as if I hadn't even gone to bed. When I walked into Tri-State Men's Health, I was extremely impressed from the get-go with the results of the treatment. I wake up in the morning now with clarity. I have had more energy in working out. I definitely have increased my strength. I would say that if there are men out there who experience some of the same problems that I did with inability to sleep well and waking up without feeling refreshed and having your energy flagging throughout the day, go see Tri-State Men's Health. It's changed my life and it'll change yours too.
Thanks, Tom. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Make your next shopping trip a good deal better during the Buy 5, Save 5 sale at Meijer. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more when you mix or match over 2,000 items store-wide, like 12-pack cans of select Coca-Cola and Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. Sargento cheese slices, Huggies Snug and Dry diapers, and Friskies wet cat food. That's the good life, a good deal better. Remember to stop by the Meijer Pharmacy for your flu shot, available while you shop. It's free with most insurance plans. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Nothing beats a cold one on game day. Lately, I've been grabbing Go Brewing. It's a non-alcoholic craft beer that actually tastes like beer, and you can snag it right now at Kroger in Columbus. Check it out next time you're in the beer aisle. Go Brewing at Kroger, and visit gobrewing.com/thefan for a special BOGO offer.
Give the gift everyone wants. Fun in your own game room. Billiards Plus has gifts for everyone. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, card tables, grills, and more. With professional delivery and installation, you'll beat the last-minute scramble. Reserve yours now. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
There was never a doubt. The defending champion with a successful title defense at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday.
Commemorate the magic of the season and the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Tickets are now on sale for the 2026 tournament. When you purchase by November 14th, you will receive a special edition ornament and enjoy best pricing. Visit memorialtickets.com for more details.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a matchup against the Capitals. Live fan coverage starts Friday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect skies to be mostly sunny on this Friday after such a cold start, but still this afternoon we will struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s. As we go into tonight, partly cloudy and cold again with lows right around freezing. And then for Saturday, patchy frost in the morning, turning into partly sunny skies in the afternoon and highs in the mid to upper 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Have you already started your tailgate? Us too. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. We're proudly sponsored by our friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler, for over 78 years. I remember when Urban was hired here, and a buddy of mine named Joe Gervin, who did some of the Coaches Show stuff down in Gainesville and was a longtime TV radio guy down in Gainesville. I remember him tweeting out, well, that sucks, but I hope they don't take Pantone. And I'm going, well, I tell him, who's Pantone? He's like, well, he's the guy behind the guy, is who Mark is. And sure enough, met Mark in short order upon his arrival here and went, okay, well, this is something we've never had around here before, this type of big brain. And Urban empowered him, and Mark took it and ran with it and created a position that before he was doing it, I don't know if it existed. Now he's a general manager. He's always been a general manager. I used to call him the ambassador of cool, because it was his job and his staff's job to make sure that when kids came in here, to identify them, to get them in here, to build relationships with them, and for them to see everything that could happen at Ohio State. And they have everything that they have done has been copied everywhere around the country. Folks that he has groomed have been poached at Texas, at Michigan, other places around the country for, can we just get a little of what Mark does? And we're lucky enough that he's been here this whole time, and a great deal of the success that has happened at Ohio State is in large part because of the way that he operates behind the scenes. So I thought it was really cool yesterday when Ryan was off his show, and they had Matt Patricia on, they had Jake Diebler on, and they had Mark on. And anytime that he is available, I want to talk to Mark, because I think he's fascinating, and it's a real look behind the curtain about how all of this has happened. So this was all very fascinating, but let's start with what his job was 15 years ago to what his job is now.
It's been significantly different. I mean, nonstop agents are trying to track me down now to talk money. So that's been a big difference. And then just dealing with our current team in that locker room, trying to keep 85 to 90 guys happy with NIL, and then, making sure the high school kids you're recruiting are being fairly compensated and being competitive in that world. Making sure the high school kids you're recruiting are being fairly compensated and being competitive in that world. Because at the end of the day, the culture in that locker room is why we win. And it's so fragile. As you see what's going on around the country right now with head coaches losing their jobs, it's just, you got to be, you got to be on your game of making sure, you're right.
I mean, just think of that. He is a general manager without rules. Every other sport, a general manager has rules of the game that they have to adhere to. Salary caps, max contracts, all of that. He doesn't have any of that. He's operating in a world where the rules are just floating around him, and he has to try to gauge what's the best fit. I think it's the toughest job in the sport right now. Tougher than anything. It's trying to manage all of that. There is incredible joy, though, and I think this is probably why Mark got into it. It's probably why he stays into it, and it's one of the things that I've seen firsthand, the development and the relationships that he develops with kids as high school kids, and then through college, and then after they're done. You see a former Buckeye who comes around here, he's one of the first to dap him up, give him a hug, and welcome him back. So the growth that he's seen is a big part of the enjoyment.
Yeah, this is probably one of the funner things, because I usually start watching them when they're sophomores in high school, and just see their body development over time each year. You see a lot of the same traits, but you just never know until they get here, how they're going to react with Mick and just football IQ and just the talent that's around them. But once they finally start playing, you see just the product of results of all the film you watched, and hopefully you're right a lot more than you're wrong.
Another thing they're very good about here is when they're in a recruiting process with a player and it doesn't go their way, they don't cry about it. They don't become spiteful about it. And if you're looking for the best example of how that paid off, look no further than your quarterback. Here's Mark on Julian.
We recruited Julian extremely hard. He was top of the board for us out of high school, and obviously we were disappointed when he chose Alabama. But Coach Saban, we owed him a thank you note for leaving, and as soon as that happened, there was communication to let us know there would be interest there, and then we just had to have internal conversation to make sure it felt good for the room and at the right time, and we chose to do so, and he's obviously stepped right in and been a key part of this team this year.
So that's at the highest part of the sport. You're talking about a 5-star kid, number 1 quarterback in the country stuff with Julian. The other thing that's part of his job is finding the diamonds in the rough. And one of those diamonds is Arvell Reese. Sonny's similar, right? I mean, they're 4 or 5-star guys, but it's like, what do you do with them? Are they safeties? Are they DNs? Are they what do you do with them? He was asked what he envisioned with Arvell Reese and if it's close to what the reality has been.
You saw the explosiveness from him on film and the ability to run and accelerate, but you just never knew with his frame what he would grow into. He's kind of just a big, freaky athlete, and so there was a lot of discussion when he came in here. Is he a linebacker, is he a defensive end? And we kind of moved him around at first, but at the end of the day, it's worked out well for him because now the way Coach P is utilizing him, he's going to do both, and obviously he's had an incredible year, so it's been fun to watch.
Obviously, I don't want him to go anywhere ever. I hope he stays here forever. He's just such him and his family, incredible members of the community. But if you're an NFL team, do you make a call? As far as identifying talent, he's about as good as anyone you're going to find.
Yeah, especially with how quickly NFL teams want to throw their rookies in. I mean, you saw it last night with the Chargers and the rookie tight end. Doing things Antonio Gates didn't do in San Diego, now Los Angeles. But with how often and how early these guys and how often the rookies are just thrown into games, guys like this who have seen all of these guys from such an early development process can kind of help better understand what these really kids go through to become young men and into their, adult, not only mentally, but physically. And it's so important when you talk about rookies and how like the headspace is with them. And it's like, who better to understand it than a guy that's known them from high school? And so that's something I think a lot of NFL teams could pick from and pick his brain on how to pick their brains properly. I can't imagine every offseason a new NFL regime's not giving a call to Columbus. I mean, how many times do we think Urban got called when he was in town, when he was in Florida, when he was in Salt Lake City? So I imagine that he, and I don't know, but I imagine he feels pretty good, Pantone does, being here with this, considering all that we think that he's had put in front of him in terms of job availability.
If I was an NFL team, I would absolutely not call. No way. It's an NFL different than college. I mean, the games couldn't be more further apart.
Wait a minute. He doesn't understand it.
There's no way if I'm an NFL team. Pantone, Ohio State. Are you kidding me?
If only someone came up with a college model that could kind of mirror an NFL team, right? Then he might be useful in that spot.
Go get Mike Lombardi at UNC. They're the 33rd team. Wouldn't touch Pantone with a 10-foot pole. In all seriousness, yeah, I think you would kick the tires a little bit. I think the quote on Julian, Bo, and we've talked about this a little bit before, and it's kind of a lesson for life, and it's a lesson in the business that we're in, because the business we're in is so small, and you never know who could be the one that recommends you for your next job. Like, you do not burn bridges. Even if it's, and I feel like that's something Harbaugh kind of did with Zach Harrison, right? He was like, screw Ohio. We're not doing this anymore. Stay away from them. Like, you cannot burn bridges now because you don't know who's the next coach that gets fired, and that kid's going to revert to you. Like, Julian Sayin went to Alabama because he wanted to play and be developed by Nick Saban. Guess where the next place was? It was here. They love Ryan Day. They love Brian Hartline. You heard his dad say that. So never burn that bridge.
No, and I'll be honest with you, like, if there's all this talk about who's going to replace these things, like Mark went to the University of Florida. Again, stay here forever, but if I was one of those Bull Gator boosters down there, I would try to hire him more than I would try to hire a coach.
Quit putting this in the atmosphere.
I don't mean
that. I realized as I was talking.
What are you doing?
He's not going anywhere. He's our guy, and I don't want him to go anywhere, but I'm just saying, like, I think you have to rethink a little bit the way you hire coaches now. Because this job that Mark and Urban created is as important as who the head coach is. It's almost an NFL view of, do you hire the GM or the coach first? I wonder if we get there at some point in college football. Where do you hire the GM before you hire the coach?
Bo, I've said this many times, right? And it's no knock on Ryan Day. It's just the position he was put in. I wonder what Ryan Day would be without Mark Pantoni.
Well, Voltolini, Marotti, like all
of them.
They all, and that's a credit to them, and it's a credit to Ryan for understanding that these guys are really good at what they do. Let me just let them operate, and them saying, hey, this guy's really good at what he does. We're very blessed that all of this has worked the way that it has, and it's a credit to the people that are involved in all of it. We're also very blessed to talk to Tim May every week. He'll join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time, Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Treat yourself to a new ride from Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 26 Chevy Trailblazer or 25 Trax, $189 a month. New 26 Chevy Equinox, $239 a month. Or a new 26 Silverado, just $369 a month. Visit CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 10/31/25.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto saving for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, or whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time to head out on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Conversation with our good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show on the FanStreamSports.com, and of course right here at the Fan. Buckeyes aside, who's the best team in college football with a month to go in the regular season?
God, I knew that was going to be the question right out of the chute. Dude, I'm not sure as far as total team and playing well. It's not Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to say the hottest team right now is Alabama. The way they've won those last 4 games. And by the way, I'm down in North Carolina visiting my daughter, and I'm picking up my baby brother Tony, who's 68. We're going to the Alabama and South Carolina game tomorrow. So he's flying in from Houston. So,
nice.
But I'll give you a first-hand report. You know what I mean? But by the way, I've never been there for a game. That's the main reason I hooked this up.
I was just going to ask you if you'd been there.
Williams-Brice Stadium. Never been there, but anyway, I think it's almost a toss-up after Ohio State, but I don't know if you agree or not, Bo, but I think Ohio State is the most complete team, you know? I mean, because the offense is really only going to get better, you got to think, and defensively, they're already at a level, and they can get better, and defensively, the way Ohio State is equipped, they can play with pretty much anybody now. So, but yeah, I would think Indiana has an argument. I don't know if you agree. I just like the way Indiana plays, and they've got a difference maker at quarterback. They didn't have that last year, in my opinion, but they've got it this year, and so that keeps you in games. So my final answer, Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know that. I think you might be right. And, the thing that makes this also hard, I talked about this a little bit last week. It was this notion of the brand bias that we all have. Like it's, and maybe you have a little bit of it too, because you see Indiana and you've covered them for all these years and you're like, that can't be the second best team in the country, can't be in Bloomington, but it is. I mean, they went to Oregon and won, and they deserve all their flowers from that. But the other side of that perception coin, and you're going to a game down in Columbia, South Carolina with Alabama and South Carolina, is the SEC is winning the perception war right now. And I'm very curious to see what the college football playoff does with this. There are 10 SEC teams ranked in the top 25. You watch a lot of college football. I watch a lot of college football. There is no good reason for Texas to be ranked. There is no good reason for LSU to be ranked, especially over USC. And so, but they are. They get this incredible benefit of the doubt, and it's something that I'm very curious to see how the committee handles this in a couple of weeks when that first ranking comes out.
Here's the thing that's happened to the SEC. There's no D in the SEC right now. I mean, with the exception of Texas, whose defense would you take? Alabama is playing fairly well. It's not playing over-the-top great defense. Georgia, it's like they've given up playing defense down there in the last couple of seasons. Ole Miss is not a great I mean, I could name almost everybody. You could throw in Oklahoma, but Oklahoma is still in a search for itself offensively. Even though Mateer has played well at times, he got hurt. I know all that stuff. But I don't think there's a great team in the SEC this year. I think there are some good ones. But you're exactly right about the perception aspect, or about, when you're sitting there and you're voting, let's say in the AP poll, you give the nod, the default goes to an SEC team because they play such a tough schedule. I want to tell you something. The Big Ten right now is not all the way through, but the Big Ten is pretty damn tough. I mean, Iowa, Minnesota, name who am I leaving out? Iowa,
Washington's
Minnesota.
I think Washington's really good. I think USC is really good. I think Michigan's really good.
Exactly. I don't think they're great, but I think they're really good. And and you're right. I mean, UCLA is riding this crest now that is totally. How do you explain it? But does it come back to does it come back to the ground tomorrow? That's the big question, against Indiana. But yeah, so I think the Big Ten has as much of an argument as the SEC in terms of strength of group, and then you go from there. I mean, Mississippi State. A lot of people think Mississippi State, can give Texas a game this week. Are you kidding me? I mean, they gave them a game last year, and they weren't even very good last year.
No, I don't think Texas can move the ball, so I think they could lose for sure.
Yeah, tomorrow may tell the tale, man, on a lot of these imposters in the SEC for sure.
One of the big topics of conversation this week, because this vote is allegedly coming up in the next couple of weeks, is because college football has achieved, to a certain extent, parity. I mean, there's a lot of teams with losses, and anybody can beat anybody. Ohio State's been immune to that. Indiana's been immune to that, but it's happened around the country. You hear a lot of people crying for, then we got to get to a 16-team playoff. And you saw this reporting this week about the Big Ten really pushing this 20-plus team model with automatic bids. And let's just cut through the nonsense. It's all about money. They're trying to find more money in the seat cushions, and that's what it's really all about. What do you want to see this sport look like in terms of how it crowns a champion in the next 5 years to 10?
I would like to see a 16-team playoff. No more than that. I don't think there are more than heck. I don't think there are more than 8 teams that deserve to be considered playing for the national championship. I would like to see it level off at 16, and I don't know what's going to happen with the conference championship games, except the conference championship games do give you some clarity on who the better team is in a conference, if you follow me, if there's any kind of debate. But the idea that 4 teams get a bye and the other, 12 in a 16-team playoff wouldn't, something like that. I don't like the bye aspect, except you throw in there the fact that if you played the conference championship game, that is an incredibly tough game to win. And so you've already played your extra game. But if you lose your conference championship game, like Penn State did last year, Penn State would have had to play 17 games. I don't believe in imbalance or inequality like that when it comes to a college playoff. So I would find out a way to either get rid of the conference championship games,
yes,
or incorporate them somehow into the playoff.
Well, yeah,
that was my grand plan many 20, 30 years ago, was to have 8 major conferences that had conference championship games. You had to have at least 12 teams in a conference, and the winners advanced into a bracket, top 8, which would be the top 8 playing for the national championship.
Yeah, that's a very NFL view of it, right? And if all conferences were created equal, but unfortunately, because of what's happened, they're not. You know what I'm really interested in, Tim? You and I were talking about, you just mentioned Indiana, and it got me thinking. You were talking about the conference championship games. If Ohio State and Indiana get to that conference championship game, both 12-0,
yeah,
the loser there, and they're number 1 and number 2 in the country, the loser of that game, in my opinion, still ought to get a bye.
Agreed. That would be the fairest. That would be the fair world out there. You know what's funny though, Bo? That not only could decide the Big Ten, but could also decide the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm not kidding you.
Well, right, and that leads. You hit on something there too. The saying. I think the thing that's going to be you're a voter, I'm a voter, Reese is a voter. There's a bunch of us out there. One thing that it says on the ballot is most outstanding player in the country. What makes that vote so hard is the imbalance of the importance of the quarterback position.
Yes.
Juxtaposed to everybody else.
We had this debate on our tailgate show last week, and I said, Anthony Rothman and Dave Biddle, and they were talking about Jeremiah Smith and his chances and stuff. And then, you got a guy coming on like Carnell Tate. And I told him, I said, the thing is, whenever those guys have a good game, so does Julian Sayin. You know what I mean? And it's like, but he gets compound interest. Warren Buffett would love that. He gets compound interest because if they both have good games, bam, he's throwing for 393 or 394 like last week. So, but you know this, man. Remember I texted you the other day when y'all were asking, who do you take, Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Smith?
Right, yeah.
And if it's a great quarterback, you always retain the quarterback because he makes so much other stuff happen. He is so important. That's why he gets such strong consideration in Heisman. I don't think the quarterback's been more important than he is in this era. Back in the I formation days, it was the tailback, and when the guy carried it 28, 35 times a game, he was the most important guy. But now everything on almost any college offense is so important to have that hub, which is the quarterback, because he can make so many things happen. And as Julian's saying, is showing now he can run a little bit.
Yeah, he's a stud, is what he is.
Yeah, he is.
You and I were on him. You and I were on him last year. I mean, a year ago, in just watching him sling it. And so this week, like, all the national media finally understood how good he was. I guess it took that performance last week for that to finally be the case. But it's jump in. The water's warm. He's damn good. Safe travels down there. And enjoy Williams-Brice.
Oh, I will. He's a stud that looks like Timothy Chalamet. By the way,
I think that's part of it, right? Is he looks so young and innocent? It's almost like people, but he's a killer.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, my daughter, real quick, her significant other is a captain in the Marine Corps in Special Ops, and I was hearing some stories last night. You know what I mean? And the bottom line is, I could tell you those stories, but he'd have to kill you.
Well, I don't want any of that. But thank him for his service. Thank him for his service. I'm very appreciative of it.
All right, brother.
All right, buddy.
All right,
there he goes. That right there. That's Tim May. So he goes down to Carolina to see his daughter and visit with her husband and the family and all of that. And then he sees the opportunity of going to a college football venue he's never previously been to. So he then turns it into his brother's flying in. I love how he calls his baby brother 68. His baby brother's flying in, and they're going down to Williams-Brice because he's never seen a game there. That's Tim May. That's why he's the best.
One of a kind.
So good. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Game day glory starts here, Columbus. The 2025 Polestar 3 long-range dual motor is built to win, delivering Scandinavian luxury, cutting-edge design, and up to 350 miles of range. Right now, lease yours for $699 a month for 36 months with zero due-it signing. Visit Polestar Columbus on the Buyers Imports campus by the airport, the only place in Ohio where you can see, feel, and drive the difference. Monthly lease payment of $699 per month for 36 months. Offer expires November 2nd, 2025. See dealer for details or visit polestaroffers.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey there, friends. All of your favorite NBA players, well, good news. They're back. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Never miss a game. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEFAN971. That's code THEFAN971. Bet $5 and again, get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Ohio only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's time for Buckeye basketball season. Well, almost. Catch Jake Diebler's Buckeyes in an exhibition game against the Ohio Bobcats.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 1 with the tip at 2.
Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a football Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
We'll start with an evolving situation in Southeast Ohio. WSAZ in Huntington, West Virginia, and WSEO 107.7 in Southeast Ohio are among the outlets reporting that the Ohio High School Athletic Association is expected to make an announcement this morning regarding an investigation into the Ironton High School football program. The Fighting Tigers are 8-1 on the season. The defending D5 state champs are scheduled to play at Portsmouth tonight at 7 o'clock. WSEO says, quote, sources are reporting that Ironton High School football could reportedly be penalized for illegal recruiting violations in a case that is currently filed in the Lawrence County Clerk of Court's office, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
That's a big thing, but I think it's an unfortunate thing because I think if you're going to investigate Ironton, then you got to investigate Hoban. You got to investigate every single private school in this state that wins state championships, and they win a lot of them. You telling me they all recruit? They don't? You telling me every kid that goes to St. Ed's is Catholic? You telling me every kid that goes to Hoban is Catholic? Stop it. Stop it. This has been going... Like, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It's not for me to say. I don't cover it, and I don't have I don't have a dog in the fight. But this notion that we're just going to pick on a Division 5 public school team for doing this while this is happening at the private schools all over the state, to me, I've never understood. And it is uniquely an Ohio problem. I did not have this in Montana. I did not have this in Florida. I did not have this in Georgia. Maybe in South Florida there was a little of it, but a lot of the teams that won state championships down there were Miami Northwestern, Tallahassee Lincoln, Apopka. Those are all public schools. So it's definitely an Ohio issue. It's been an issue for 100 years, and I just think you got to tread carefully here because you're not investing in these. You're playing by two separate rules, and that part sucks.
So I think this is a awful thing if these kids have to lose out on a state championship from last year. I also think it's a terrible thing for these kids this year if they have to forfeit their season. I did see the Ironton football team this morning was gathering on the doorstep of the school board down there, wanting the school board to fight this wholeheartedly. I also think this sucks because if this is in court, this sounds like sour grapes. Somebody had sour grapes, like a parent was upset that their kid lost playing time or something, or it was a rival school that wanted to get at them. So this sounds like sour grapes, and I hate that part of it. I do know that Ironton, when they started the second half of their season, had 4 or 5 kids out because of the transfer rule. Because if you transfer in and if they find it no legitimate reason, like you're just transferring there to be a part of the football school, there wasn't a legitimate move or something like that, you have to sit out the second half of the season and the postseason. This could have massive ramifications, obviously, on the playoffs for this year in Region 19. And it could affect a couple local schools like a Columbus Academy who's in that region, Afrocentric who's in that region, Amanda Clear Creek, Worthington Christian are just on the outside looking in. Portsmouth, who they're supposed to play tonight, would automatically be in. They're at the 10 seed. They would get a bump from getting the forfeit. And I wonder if it changes anything for Harvest Prep, who Joe Idle has mathematically eliminated right now. But maybe that could change for them sitting there at 16. I'm not sure. They've had a weird situation this year with their school, and they're already a team because of competitive balance. Harvest Prep should be in D7, but they're in D5 because they get a lot of transfers into their school as well. It changes everything in that region because that region the past few years has been dominated by Ironton, Wheelersburg, and Harvest Prep. So,
do you think this is part of a bigger conversation. Obviously, we could do 30 minutes on this. But I do wonder if the OHSAA needs to separate public from private, finally, with this NIL ruling coming as well. I just don't know. I don't know. It's an Ohio problem. It really is.
I've always been against that, Bo, personally, because it's not going to change anything for the schools at the top, right? Like, what can you... maybe if you have these public schools, but some of the public schools have been winning, right? Like Olentangy Liberty won a D1 state championship last year. I think where it does change a little bit, and we just mentioned Harvest Prep. Like Harvest Prep has been a team that's been knocking on the door for a while, but they're punching up, right? Now they do get transfers and players from other places, but they're the size of a Division 7 school, and they're playing Division 5 schools all the time, and they've made it to state semifinals, but they've never made it to that final game, and I think that's probably because of roster size. Yeah. So I think there's I think there's arguments on both sides.
It's not a Columbus problem either because we don't have D1. We don't have the GCL. We don't have Ignatius. We don't have Eds. We don't have Hoban. We have DeSales and we have Watterson and we have private schools that are great. And obviously Watterson's as good as anybody in the state. But there's other pockets. You think about Toledo Central Catholic. You think about the Cardinal Mooney years ago, or Ursuline years ago, or St. Vincent St. Mary. All of these schools that have this built-in advantage. Columbus has kind of been immune to it, which is crazy. It's really cool. And you're able to stay in your communities. But a lot of the other parts of the state, it's not.
Yeah, the one team in Columbus that could get that advantage of the all-boys school is St. Charles. But St. Charles has always been more of a strictly high-level academic school.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to go there necessarily. It is funny with the competitive balance, though, like DeSales, they are at a little bit of a disadvantage in the fact that they're the smallest D2 school and have been the past couple of years in the state. They should be playing D3, sometimes maybe even on the verge of D4.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Jeremiah Smith or Brian Windhorst here?
Let's do Jeremiah.
Earlier this week, Red Bull posted a video starring Jeremiah and Chad Johnson, where the former NFL All-Pro wideout surprised JJ with a limited edition can of Red Bull hidden inside a football-themed Russian nesting doll. The limited edition cans will be sold exclusively in Ohio through December or until supplies last. The cans have several unique features, including Smith's number 4, a route line from his 56-yard third and Jeremiah catch against Notre Dame in the CFP, and a portrait from his 2024 signing as Red Bull's first college football athlete. Thing or not a thing?
I think it's a cool thing. I mean, he is what NIL should be. Massive superstar. He should be able to take full advantage of it. That's what it's about. So I think it's a very cool thing. I'm also curious when it was shot. Probably in the summer, maybe?
That's what it looks like.
Basking in sun. So it's probably been in the works for a while.
It is a very cool thing. I will say I think I like Marvin Harrison's Grippos a little better than the potato chips that he had, but very
He's
cool.
got the better product.
Very cool to see Jeremiah get rewarded. And as you mentioned, Bo, this is what NIL was intended to be. Not, hey, fans, give as much money as you can to this collective and we'll give it to the players.
Yeah. I'm really bothered by this Ironton thing, man. It's low-hanging fruit to go after when there's so much of it rampant throughout the state.
Well, and it sounds like it was handed to them on a platter, right? Because it's in the court system already from someone else. And like we said, that sure sounds like somebody with sour grapes.
One way or the other. Either someone that was there previously or someone who a kid went to. I hate to see it for them. Those small communities, that means everything when they can have success like that. And everybody's recruiting at a certain level around the state at the highest level. Final hour of the program coming up next. We attempt to know the scores first. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Don't let credit hold you back. Capital Florida Columbus and Whitehall welcomes all credit types with open arms. Find your dream ride and get approved fast. Call 614-861-7150 or on the web at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best,
yeah.
but I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Football season
season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I bowl in 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes. College football is more chaotic than ever. New rivals, new rules, and a brand new season of Fansville. Are you fan enough to handle the drama? Then grab an ice-cold Dr. Pepper from your local Kroger and buckle up for the season. College football, it's a Pepper thing. College football fans, listen up. You can catch Carnell Tate and Dr. Pepper on November 17th. We'll be at the new Kroger at 7525 Gardwell Street in Powell from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Stop by to get your photo with Carnell Tate. See you there.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Your credit, your car, our promise. At Capital Florida Columbus and Whitehall, we approve all credit types. Perfect, challenged, or none. Drive off today with easy financing. Visit today or online at capitalfloridacolumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Blue Jackets are back at Nationwide tonight. CBJ hosts the Washington Capitals at 7 p.m. Columbus is on a 2-game winning streak, and a win tonight would put them at 4-3 on the season. Here, Jackets Caps on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. Jet Greaves likely to get the nod in net. Eric Goodbranson is also expected back on the blue line. CBJ are at Pittsburgh tomorrow night. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's on a bye this weekend. Buckeyes will host Penn State next Saturday at noon. In the Week 8 big noon kick, 7-0 Indiana hosts UCLA tomorrow in Bloomington. In the NFL last night, the LA Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10. And in the NBA Friday, the Cavs play in Brooklyn versus the Nets. Tip-off there 7:30. Cleveland's going to host Milwaukee on Sunday. Oh yeah, the World Series begins tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays host the LA Dodgers at 8 o'clock. Toronto's going to host Game 2 on Saturday. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a football Friday. A little bit of Shelley time coming up in 28 minutes. Jackets get Ovi tonight, so that'll be exciting to have that conversation with him. Time now to see if we can know the scores.
It's time for Know the Scores on Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Having some full mattress action here.
Oh, baby.
As you guys are, well, just crushing it in terms of knowing the scores and picks that we are just looking at ESPN Bet. We're not making these up as we go, although I guess we could. Like we could be the bookie here.
Well, then we end up like Chauncey Billups. I don't need that. It's gone well.
Baker with a solid 6-5 last week, 53-34 overall.
Let's go. I went 8-3, so back-to-back 8-3s for me, and I am now 51-36.
Charging back.
Send your kids to college. Bishop. Know the scores.
It was a good week on the NFL and college last week. And just to explain, because we had that email from the guy who was a little pissed off about how we were doing this and then emailed to apologize.
He had a
bit.
He
was drunk, which was fine. So we give him the grace.
I still need more context on that.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll send us another email for next week. So when we say know the scores, there are lines that are established by ESPN Bet. And when we give you the scores, we're taking those lines into consideration. So, for example, last week, I would have went 10-1 money line. Just picking winners, we would have went 10-1. But I missed 2 by a half point that dropped it to 8-3. So that's what's happening here.
And we are not getting any insider information from the NBA.
No, we are not. We are not.
We'll start with the big nooner in Bloomington. Number 2, Indiana.
Jeez.
Say that a couple times. Kurt Signetti will appear through a mirror and punch you in the face.
Is this basketball?
Yeah, right?
This game is, right?
They host a basketball school in UCLA. Hoosiers are 25.5-point favorites. Bo.
It's just a lot of points. I know AR's going over there to bask in the crimson and all of it. I just think it's maybe a little bit too many points for this. I think Nico will score a few. Indiana's going to win the game. It'll be comfortable. I don't see any scenario where Indiana loses it, but I think it could be something like 38-17, and so IU wins a comfortable game, but it's just 25.5 is mammoth number. So give me the Hoosiers winning 38-17.
UCLA's 3-game winning streak here is pretty fun, and they didn't have a problem heading east to play Michigan State. They did, though, have some trouble with Northwestern earlier this year. Indiana is not Michigan State. Indiana wins, but they miss out on covering by half a point. 42-17 Hoosiers.
Be something if that's it. There've been a lot of those this year, guys. A lot of them.
Tyvis Powell is going to be in attendance for this one. Nebraska, a 7.5-point favorite, hosting Northwestern. Baker.
I have not believed in Nebraska at all. I can't believe that they lost to row the boat last week in Minnesota. Nebraska is the better team, but Northwestern has been playing teams tough all year. The Cornhuskers win. They do not cover, though, because great teams cover. Nebraska 24, Northwestern 21.
So I wrote down 21-17 Nebraska. I just think Nebraska can't have nice things. They just can't. Like Dillon will throw it to Northwestern a couple of times. Nebraska will win, but it'll be closer than it needs to be. I'm with you on that one. Samesies.
At another Memorial Stadium in a flyover state, number 13 Oklahoma is a 5.5-point favorite, hosting number 8 Ole Miss. Bo.
Oh my God, this one pulls at the heartstrings because I have a soft spot in my heart for Ole Miss and for Lane Kiffin and all of his antics. And I was bullish on OU to start the year. The Mateer injury, though, was a big one, and it cost him in the Texas game. Is Ole Miss going to lose 2 in a row? I think this is a coin flip game, and I think they will lose 2 in a row, but I think it's a little closer than that. I like OU winning a classic 31-28.
I have not been a believer in Ole Miss as being an upper echelon team in college football, meaning a top 10, top 5. I do think they're a top 15 team. I think they're right around 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. I think Oklahoma is a top 5 type team. Another week for John Mateer to get that hand healthy. I got the Sooners winning and just barely covering 27-21.
All right.
At noon tomorrow in Atlanta, number 7 Georgia Tech is a 16.5-point home favorite, hosting Syracuse, Baker.
Things have been going south for the Orange here recently, and I actually think Georgia Tech is a pretty good team. I think they belong in the top 10, even though the schedule isn't great. I just don't know if Georgia Tech can score enough to cover that many points. I got the Ramblin' Wreck 31, the Q's 17.
Yeah, I'm with you exactly on that. In fact, there's only been 2 instances this year against anybody that Georgia Tech has won by 16.5 or more. They beat Temple 45-24. They beat Gardner-Webb 59-12. That's it. That's the list. Everything else was under the 16.5-point margin, and I think Syracuse is, although you're right, it's gone south for them, I think they'll be competitive. I like Georgia Tech winning this one as well, 28-17.
At 3:30 tomorrow in Columbia, South Carolina hosts number 4 Alabama. The Crimson Tide, 11.5-point road favorites, Bo.
Here's what I know about Alabama. They've played an incredibly daunting schedule over the last month of the season. They have beaten 4 ranked teams. They beat Georgia 24-21, Vandy 30-14, Missouri 27-24, Tennessee 37-20. You would think that this would be a little bit of a reprieve because then they got number 20 LSU, then number 13 Oklahoma, the 2 weeks that follow it. I think that Kalen DeBoer is trying to make his entire team 10 feet tall and bulletproof, so I think they'll be in control of this game the whole way, and I don't think he's allergic to piling on. So I like Bama winning this one, pulling away late, comfortable, 35-14.
So, Bo, it wouldn't surprise me if Alabama just lays the wood on South Carolina here. It wouldn't surprise me if this game was like 49-7.
Yeah.
But I do think they've had such a tough run here. LSU and Oklahoma coming up, although we don't believe in LSU that much. It's a bigger name, right? Like the players are going to see that more. I think Alabama wins this game in a game that's probably a little more competitive than the score is. I think they get a score late to win 34-20.
At 3:30.
So same, right? Same.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the scores, kids. 3:30 in Music City, number 12 Vanderbilt's a 2.5-point favorite hosting number 15 Missouri, Baker.
Do you guys remember just a little bit ago in the show Barton Simmons' quote on Diego Pavia and how he thinks he's better than he is? And, well, maybe if he just keeps doing this, he is that good. That was a heck of a quote by him.
It was.
Vanderbilt, they've been pretty chesty recently. Mizzou goes to Tennessee and wins.
Oh, God.
23-21.
Pretty similar, but opposite. I think this is a really good game. I don't all the way buy this Missouri team. I do buy this Vanderbilt team, at least for the interim. I think it's a great game. I just have it opposite of you. I got Vanderbilt winning just barely above the number, 24-21.
In Seattle, tomorrow at 3:30, you've got Washington hosting number 23 Illinois. It's the Huskies, 4.5-point home favorites, Bo.
Man, what am I going to do with my Huskies, man? I was chesty on them. They went to Ann Arbor and really got beaten pretty soundly in that game. But with Michigan, sometimes if they can dictate style to you, it's a very tough operation to play against, and they weren't able to do it. I think Illinois going across the country is a lot to ask. I like Washington winning by a touchdown, 31-24.
I hate and love this game all at the same time. I love this game because I've been waiting to see it all year. I think both of these teams are pretty good teams, and I think they're pretty evenly matched, quite frankly. I hate this game because I hate that I have to pick it because I've been touting both of these teams all daggone year. I just think Illinois is a little better. Give me Burt Bielema on the road, 34-30.
I'll tell you what, if he wins that game out there, the rest of their schedule is Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern. they will be 10-2, and they will be a playoff team. This very well could be a playoff elimination game, or rather a playoff ascension game for Illinois. It's a must-win if Washington wants to do it, because they close hosting Oregon. They're not winning that one. So it's a must-win for Washington if they want to try to have big dreams.
A no-doubt playoff team from the Big Ten is Oregon. The 7th-ranked Ducks are 31.5-point favorites hosting Wisconsin tomorrow night at 7, Baker.
Wisconsin's bad. The Ducks are good. Dan Lanning doesn't care about Luke Fickell. Oregon 45, Wisconsin 6.
What would the number be that would make you take Wisconsin to cover? 42.5?
Well, I picked 45-6, so
around there.
What is that? 34? 3 more points?
Yeah. No, I think it's as much as Ryan
39, I guess.
Ryan was a good sport with Luke last week. I think that thing could have got a lot worse than they did. They played a lot of the young kids. Did you see what Oregon did when they went to Rutgers last week?
Oof.
Yeah. They're not having it. I got Oregon 77, Wisconsin 2. Sorry, Luke.
At 7:30 in a Death Valley, number 20 LSU hosts number 3 Texas A&M, but it is the Aggies, the visiting team, that are 2.5-point favorites, Bo.
I'm just done with LSU. I'm done with it. It's Baton Rouge at night. It's magical. I think A&M is they're just good. They're a good team. I don't know if they're great yet. I think if they really handle their business here, I think then maybe they could start heading into that great territory. But I think they go to Baton Rouge to get a win, and then we don't have to hear from LSU for a while. At least that's what I'm rooting for. Give me the Aggies in kind of a gross game, 18-12.
I think it's a pretty gross game, too. I think Texas A&M is the better team. I just don't think they've blown out really any team that, although LSU isn't...
Buddy, it's just 2.5.
LSU isn't great, right?
No.
But they're a competent football team. I still think Texas A&M covers, though, on the road, 26-18.
Final game of the week that we will pick is number 25, Michigan, a 14.5-point road favorite at Michigan State for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, Bake.
I feel like I've been saying this a lot when we pick Michigan games, and sometimes I've been proven wrong on this. I just don't know if Michigan scores enough to cover a spread this high, especially in a rivalry game. You know they're going to get Michigan State's best shot. Give me Michigan 27, Sparty by 0.5 point, 13.
I learned my lesson last week with Michigan. They're reeling. Jonathan Smith is reeling at Michigan State, guys. Here's their last 4 times out. Lost to USC 45-31, lost at Nebraska 38-27, got beaten at home by UCLA 38-13, at Indiana 38-13. I think Michigan dictates tempo, handles business. Michigan goes up there, it pains me to say, and wins 28-10. Give me Michigan on that side of things. All right. No Buckeye game, but lots of NFL action to pay attention to. And one thing that I am incredibly annoyed about in regard to how the Cleveland Browns are being talked about. We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you can save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000.
With autumn's arrival, ISA certified arborists recommend that fallen leaves be left alone or mulched to improve plant health. When leaves decay, they transform into organic matter absorbed by the soil to become moisture to trees through their roots, which helps trees weather drought conditions. Leaves are also a natural habitat for butterflies, chipmunks, earthworms, and others, which increases the population of beneficial insects for the next growing season. To learn more about the benefits of autumn leaves, contact an ISA certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect skies to be mostly sunny on this Friday after such a cold start, but still this afternoon we will struggle to get into the mid to upper 50s. As we go into tonight, partly cloudy and cold again with lows right around freezing. And then for Saturday, patchy frost in the morning, turning into partly sunny skies in the afternoon and highs in the mid to upper 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Let's see. High school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan. After putting up with Dom Barry for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, get into your NFL preview momentarily, but first, Reese.
A successful game day, day after game day, starts with a solid game plan. We all know this. The home team's on a bye this week, but there's hockey, baseball, basketball, and college football on the schedule. If beer is part of your game plan, give our friends at Go Brewing a try. Go Brewing makes award-winning non-alcoholic craft beer that actually tastes like beer with a ton of different styles to choose from. It's almost guaranteed to have an NA version of your favorite beverage. Go Brewing is available at Kroger. You can find it in the beer aisle. Visit gobrewing.com/thefan for free beer. When you buy 2 6-packs of Go Brewing from Kroger, you'll get reimbursed for one of them. Again, gobrewing.com/thefan. When you go Krogering, try Go Brewing.
There is a dialogue that is happening in Cleveland around Dylan Gabriel that to me is incredibly misguided. There is this notion that Dylan Gabriel is being judged for what he's not doing as if he is a veteran quarterback or as if he were the number 1 pick in the draft. It would be one thing if what Dylan Gabriel has done in what will be his 3 starts and will inevitably be 4 this weekend, if this was Kenny Pickett. If he had 25 starts and you were like, well, he's not doing enough. He's not driving the ball down the field. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. This is a 3rd-round pick. This is the number one pick in the draft. And I know why it's happening. It's happening because there is a great deal of currency involved with talking about Shedeur Sanders. You get aggregated, you get pushed around. There was a press conference this week that Kevin Stefanski had up there where one of the folks on the beat, and it's not their fault, I'm sure their bosses are saying, make sure you ask about Shedeur. Sure they are. Somebody asked about if Shedeur's getting reps with the ones. I don't remember a single question from anybody on that beat if Dorian Thompson-Robinson was getting reps with the ones. Dorian Thompson-Robinson was a 5th-round pick. That's what Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders is not a first-round pick who's being pushed aside out of agenda. Think how dumb it would be. This is an organization that's looked for a franchise quarterback going back to Bernie Kosar. And you think they're keeping a kid from playing out of spite? And what spite? They're the ones who drafted him. He wasn't allocated to them. They drafted him as a lottery ticket in the 5th round. And somehow there's some sort of personal animus that's keeping him from being played. It's the dumbest narrative in sport right now. And it's not accurate at all. And the guy in the crossfire is the guy who's actually playing pretty damn well for a 3rd-round pick. And by the way, just compare him to some of what's happened with Cam Ward early on this season. And go look at that. Go compare his first 4 starts to Baker Mayfield's first 4 starts. Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick in the draft. Go compare him. I've done it. If you're curious about how he's doing or what should be expected, do it yourself. Go see where he is. And Dylan's in the crosshairs of it. And it bugs me because he's a good kid who's doing the right things. He's actually playing pretty well. And there's all this commentary about how he's not playing up to a certain standard. They won, and he went 13 of 18 and didn't turn the ball over. When they win the turnover battle under Stefanski, they're 16-6. That he's doing what's being asked of him to do. Now, there's an evolution of this that you want to get if he's going to be a franchise quarterback. But when you draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, you're not thinking that's what they are. If they thought Dylan Gabriel's a franchise quarterback, they would have taken him in the 1st round. They would have taken him 5th overall. If he turns into it, bonus, lottery ticket. But he's not the number 1 pick in the draft. So I know why it's happening, but it doesn't make sense for the reality of the situation at all, guys.
Yeah, it's rage bait. And if this were another team with another quarterback you draft in the 3rd round who's through his 4th start, and you would be, say, in a different situation, covering a different team, you would look at Cleveland and be like, yeah, that's fine. Everything that they're doing is fine with the 3rd round quarterback. The other one's the 5th round quarterback, who in any situation would you reasonably expect him to play at all during a season? No. And with Dylan Gabriel, what's the one thing? Take your favorite team out of it, take the glasses off or the blinders that you have. What's the one thing you ask your quarterback to do? Don't turn the ball over.
First, do no harm.
Yeah. And through 4 games, he hasn't. Right? Do I expect him to process, have processing of an Aaron Rodgers? No. Aaron Rodgers has played 4 times as many, 5 times as many NFL games. This is a process. Let him go through the process. If not, you're just going to have a bad time.
It's one of the things we've talked about with Julian saying that's so impressive is this kid has just made 7 college football starts, and it looks like this. And that's good. The NFL is a lot harder than college football because every week that team against you is pretty close to equal to you in talent. And Dylan Gabriel, I think we forget this dude's just made 3 starts. He's going to make his 4th start. Mm-hmm. And he's not being asked to do anything. He also has nobody to throw the football to. He has a couple tight ends, and I've always been critical of Njoku. I feel like Njoku's only really caught the ball when Flacco was throwing it to him the first time around. This time it didn't work, and Njoku has missed some time here. Harold Fannon's even had some drops. But the wide receiver position for Cleveland is probably the worst in the NFL. If it's not the worst, it's definitely bottom 3. And so you're seeing him, 1, probably because of what he's asked to in scheme, and 2, he's dumping the ball down to Fannin a lot. He's dumping the ball down to Dylan Simpson a lot. And that's probably all he's really being asked to do right now.
First, do no harm. Dylan was available midweek, and one of the questions was if he's being too cautious. Here was his answer.
I think there always will be. I think there'll be a balance of either way, right? Either pushing it down the field or maybe a balance of when people, think you should check it down. And I think that's the balance you work through as a quarterback. And whenever we're in the meeting room, you try to continue to push that balance of when in zone coverage you can high-low and be more aggressive or bait a defender into taking something. And then there's times where you want to have an immediate reaction, depending on things happening up front or down the field, right? So I think it's just that balance you're continuing to fight. But like I've said before, you want explosives in the pass game, not only vertical throws, but also maybe a 5-yard throw that can go for 20, so any explosives really help.
Browns at New England. You can listen to it right here on The Fan on Sunday. Bengals are hosting the Jets, and this goes to your point, Bake, in terms of the weaponry. The guy that Dylan Gabriel replaced is Joe Flacco. Here's Joe Flacco on throwing to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
I know I'm 40 years old, but the first couple times I threw to Jamar and T, I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, man, I want them to know.
I want them to respect me, damn it.
I want to hit these guys. I want them to know that I can put some nice touch on it. I can put it where you want it. I overthought it for sure. One of the first balls I threw to Jamar, he was running one of these little skinny posts we have, and he was a little bit deeper than I thought he was going to be, and I missed him. And I was just like, oh, man, he thinks I suck.
Think he's enjoying himself?
Good for him.
Throwing to 1 and 5.
Because Browns fans know how this feels with December of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that.
It is. Yeah. Must win for them, obviously. And they should. They're big favorites. They got to take care of business against the Jets. And if they do so, you get to 500. And then you find a way to get to middle of December 500. And then you let Joe do his magic. And hopefully that's the way it works out for them. One other bit of news down in Cincinnati, our buddy Ben Baby reporting that the Bengals and their linebacker, team captain Logan Wilson, has requested a trade. He was benched after the Week 6 loss to the Packers in favor of fourth-round rookie Barrett Carter. I saw his press conference. It was really impressive about what he is willing to do to help Carter and to help everybody else, but obviously he was very disappointed in it. That's a shocking turn of events for them down there because he has been a great, great player for them. Go ahead.
So Mike Petraglia, who we've had on plenty of times, says Logan Wilson is front and center warming up with the team on Friday. So I think he'll act like the consummate professional. Also, Trey Hendrickson's in uniform for today's practice. So things are looking up for Cincinnati.
Certainly is. Jackets and caps tonight. Shelley time in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive. Perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Take action with Logan Services now and do not miss out on tax credits up to $3,200 ending soon. Receive additional savings up to $3,000 and get next day installation. Logan Services.
Do you feel the nip in the air? Oh, baby, people think summer's driving season. They're wrong. You spend more time in your car this time of year taking your dirty, annoying kids to dirty, annoying things. Go see my friends at Germain Lexus. They have special rates as low as 4.49% on their most popular models, including the 2026 TX350. Lease a 2026 NX for as low as $449 per month. And if new isn't your thing, they have plenty of L's certified inventory on the lot. Stop in and see them. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. And time for a little Shelley time on a Friday edition of the program. The Brian Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jackets and caps tonight. Ovi coming in, one of the all-time greats. You never know how many opportunities you're going to have to see that. But before we get to all of that, my friend, did you see what the Avs and Canes did last night? I'm sure that you did. I'm asking rhetorically.
I did. And you mean the Hartford Whalers?
That's what I mean.
And the Quebec Nordiques.
Come on.
Wasn't that great?
It's beautiful.
And did you see the scores around the National Hockey League last night? It was a flashback to the 80s.
It's great. It's great. Which one's the better kit? The Hartford Whale or the Quebec Nordique?
Quebec for me.
That baby blue.
The Quebec Nordique for me.
Yeah. Do you think there is any path for them ever getting a team again?
I think they're low on the list. I think it's. I think the big markets in the United States. I mean, the passion is in Quebec, but I don't. You know, I think the big markets in the United States outweigh Quebec. It's a small province. It's got the passion, but you know, Winnipeg is one of those markets right now that has a seating capacity of 15,000, and they're having, you know, there's struggles there with kind of how that's going to work in a very small market, but it's working. I just don't see it in Quebec. I think there's 5 or 6 places before them, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. Is there a if it was going to be another Canadian city, would it be second Toronto? Is that the only real option for Canada to get another team?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that grow up in Toronto who never get to see a Maple Leafs fan because, A, the price of tickets and the demand.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, I think a second Toronto would be the only option in Canada. I mean, the cities aren't as big.
No.
You know, there's 30 million people in the whole country. Yeah. It just doesn't, it's not feasible at what it takes to have an NHL team and to sustain it.
And there's no chance the Leafs are ever letting that happen. So what they have is what they're going to get.
No chance.
No way.
The Hamilton Wildcats.
No chance, brother. Hey, that was fun last time out down in Dallas. I thought it was the best performance of the year, obviously, and kind of everything that we were hoping would come about, it has. What did you make of the game down in Dallas earlier in the week?
Yeah. No, it's one of those games where it's a one-off in Dallas. You know, the travel, getting there, you're coming off a good win at home. You know, where does this team, what happens in that game? Yeah, they did a great job. Then to a man, you know, they feel good about it, which is great. You know, special teams, that battle, if it would have gone better a couple more games last week, they'd be sitting even higher in the standings. I know it's early, but, you know, they're building. I think they're building. I think you can build through wins, you know, by finding a way to win. But I think the most important thing is they've found how they want to play, and they all understand how they want to play. So, and I think that's a huge advantage to start a season. There's a lot of teams with new coaches, new systems, you know, a bunch of new players, and there's a lot of figuring out how everyone fits in and what we are. And the Blue Jackets right now, coming off of last year, they know how they have to play and what's expected, and we're seeing it early, which is great.
It is, and everyone in the league's working in new faces, and it feels like, I don't know, I hope that what we saw in Dallas was kind of a seminal moment in terms of what this team is going forward. Not that they're always going to win 5-1, but just the way they went about their business was fun to watch. You know, there's this thing sometimes folks will say, if you have 2 goalies, you don't have any. It appears that we have 2. What do you make about how Dean has managed Jet and Elvis so far this season? And then on the back end of that, who's in net tonight?
I call it healthy. I think it's very healthy. Jet goes tonight for the Blue Jackets. You have 2 starting goalies. Goalie is to me, and I've talked to a couple goalies about the position. It's like a starting quarterback. Okay, you process a lot in a short period of time on your feet, and there's a lot going on in front of you. It's taxing, and there's a lot of games, and this is a condensed schedule. Of course, there 5 elite number 1 superstar goaltenders in the National Hockey League. That's good. They also need breaks, but most of the time they know when they're playing whenever they need to play, as long as they're healthy. But other than that, around the National Hockey, you're seeing a lot of teams go with 2 goalies. Mm-hmm. And the goalies in this situation, I think it appears that they're good with it. Of course, they're competitors. Every athlete wants more. But I think it's a healthy situation because especially when they're winning. You know what I mean? I think that is the feather in the cap. Now, and look at tonight. Tonight's at home against Washington. Tomorrow's in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. So if you're putting in the goalie that is lesser than another, and your team plays differently in front of them, then it's a letdown. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a healthy situation for all the games this season for the Blue Jackets and these 2 goalies.
As you're saying that, it hits me that Caps tonight, Pens tomorrow. Buddy, it's 2025. It's 2025. And Ovechkin tonight, 5-2. The Caps come in here. The Pens off to, I think, for some people, a surprising 6-2 start. And it's Sid and Malkin and all those guys over there. And it's like these guys are all still doing it.
They're doing it. And look at this. I think that cool. Pittsburgh has taken the model of Washington 2 years ago and brought in some speed and competitive players and injected a couple young pieces. Pittsburgh's got 2 guys that could go back to major junior hockey this year playing in their group. And I think it's ignited Sid and Letang and Malkin, much like they did with Ovechkin a couple of years ago. We got him. One of the best goal scorer ever at might get 9. He's looking to get 900 goals. Of course, we hope it doesn't happen tonight. He's 2 away. Yeah. But they built around him with young enthusiasm, speed, competitiveness. It rejuvenated the Penguins a lot like it's rejuvenated Washington, but also the goaltending has been better in Pittsburgh. And you know what? You can do and draw up whatever you want. You don't have the saves at the key times, throw out the game plan because it gets frustrating quick. And I think that's what we've seen in Pittsburgh the last couple of years.
Just so the audience understands, Malkin's off to the best start in a long time for him. He already has 12 points. He's got 10 assists. Sid has 6 goals.
Yeah. He put on a show last night. He had 2 last night.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just aged like at this age. It's crazy.
And it's not even just the goals with Sid. It's the plays he makes away from the puck and the way he plays. He just quietly sits in the weeds, and his timing is unreal. I mean, it's fast. You got to watch him closely. I don't know how many fans are going to Pittsburgh tomorrow, but if you're there, if not, watch it on TV. Watch him closely. And they're retiring. Ron Francis is going into the Penguins Hall of Fame tomorrow night. Yeah. But tonight we got Ovechkin, and he's looking to get. He's got 1 goal on the year. He's not off to a hot start. Their power play is getting better for the Capitals, so the Blue Jackets will be antenna up here on him tonight. But also the whole team. They play a lot like the Blue Jackets, hard and fast.
Yeah, they certainly do. Your pick to click tonight. Who you have your eye on?
I'm on fire with this.
Killing it.
You know what? I think the big man Voronkov. This guy is coming to life for me. He's on the top line. The top line's playing well. He's a guy that just his teammates adore. I think he's going against a guy he admired growing up. His favorite player was Ovechkin. Let's see if he lights it up tonight.
Got to be fun. And I never take these nights for granted. Ovi and Sid back to back, one over there, one here. They're just so precious. Enjoy it. I know that you will, buddy. Thanks for your time.
All right, buddy. Great questions. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
You too. All right. A little bit of Shelley time here on a Friday. I remember Jody and I was still doing the show with Threes at that time, and I don't know if James was off or not, but he was doing the Shelley time over in Washington, and I just pulled up Ovi's stats This is probably 6-7 years ago. And I just pulled up Ovi's stats, and it hit me. It was like, oh, he's going to get Gretzky. He's going to get there. Like, you started to do the math. And then he did it. And now he's going to lap him. I mean, it's just crazy that these guys are still this great. I mean, this is 20 plus years.
And then you remember, I think it was 2 years ago, he'd kind of fallen off the pace a little, and you're like, I'm not sure he's going to get it. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom. And you're like, well, maybe he can get it next year, beginning of last season, and he gets it last season. You're like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it's really cool. I love that those guys are still after it, 20 years later.
Bo, I will say, though, the last time the Caps were in the building, last April, Reese and I were there in a big Jackets win. They beat them on the physicality that night. They beat them on the scoreboard.
Hopefully it happens again tonight. All right, we get you 3 things on a football Friday. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. As you head into your second bye weekend, will you manage the weekend and the week a little different than you did in the first week, Ryan?
It's going to be very similar. We've looked at it and feel like we have a pretty good, beat on what we want to get done during the week and how it's going to all shake out. So it's actually going to be very similar to the first week, maybe a few adaptations, but for the most part, it'll be similar. And we know, that we're playing Penn State here. So, we got to get a head start on those guys, but making sure we're still focused on our fundamentals and addressing the things that we got to get addressed.
We have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Knowing that a bye week and a bye weekend involves recruiting, and I've asked you this before, but when you're recruiting athletes who play other sports, does their ability in other sports become a factor at all?
Yeah, and I wish they did that more, but it's hard nowadays. I see it with my son, and it's just, he wanted to play another sport, and they said, well, if you're not doing it year-round, sorry, you're not going to start and everything. So it's like they kind of almost force your hand nowadays, which is frustrating. My daughter's going through it now. She's playing basketball, but that's really about it. They can't fit the other sports in. I love it. I played 3 sports. I see how the benefit that you can have playing multiple sports. So now it really comes, maybe a little bit of golf they can play now, a couple of things, but not as much. The 3-sport athlete, you just don't see it anymore. But Lincoln was. And we still have some guys who do that, and I think it does help them overall. It just helps their overall awareness, their ability to compete, handle pressure situations, spatial awareness. I think all those things, anticipation, and so I think it's a great thing. I wish our guys could do it more.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
This time of year, it's all or nothing, and Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month.
Now through November 3rd, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax title and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick.
Newman Roofing, as part of its 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to recognize individuals who have made an impact for people of all abilities. This week, we would like to honor Caitlin Brown. Caitlin has made an impact by creating the Handy Capable Kitchen, which raises money for Toys for Tots through her local Chili Fest. This Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Newman Roofing is proud to join forces with 10 TV and The Fan in celebrating our ongoing commitment to the community.
College is great. You know what else is great? Pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what are on the poll today?
The Daily Fan Poll, which you can find on Twitter at 971TheFan. I think we also have it on our website.
All right.
And so I think that's two places, maybe on Facebook, if you're still doing polls on Facebook. I was trying to see if they could do it on YouTube. So there's many different ways to get to our Daily Fan Poll, which I'm discovering right now as I talk us through this. But the Daily Fan Poll asks, with the Buckeyes on the bye, which game are you most looking forward to watching during tomorrow's college football slate? Texas A&M and LSU, that 7:30 kick from Death Valley is getting 39% of respondents. 29% of you saying you're going to watch Ole Miss at OU. 18% say number 25 Michigan at Michigan State. Other is the fourth and final option. Surprisingly, no Indiana option against UCLA, the big noon kick. But I guess it also goes to our ratings discussion earlier in the week, where it's like the two games fans in this listening area are most excited to watch are SECers.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick one, it would probably be Ole Miss, Oklahoma. That's the one I'm most curious about, is that one. But yeah, I mean, it's all worked for them. It has. All right, time for three things on a Football Friday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number one for me, for those of you who have cute little kids or you're thinking about having kids, this is what it's like being the parent of a 13-year-old. On the way to school, getting into the car, NBC says to my wife, when are we going to get my bindings on my skis? As we're walking into the car. So they just need to be fitted. But keep in mind, it's October 24th. Like, he's not going to Aspen anytime soon. And we get in the car, and I swear to God, on my late mother's soul, I say, but I really wish you wouldn't put that on your mom now. This is his response verbatim. Why are you always yelling at me? I think I was pretty calm. So then that led to, you don't talk like that ever to me, which then led to a 12-minute silent car ride where Beamsy was texting his mom what was happening in the car, and that's parenting a teenager, kids, for you on a Friday.
You're selling it really well to us without kids.
They're so lovely until like age 11.
As I was stumbling over the Daily Fan Poll, I noticed that our guys in sales hooked us up with Firehouse subs.
Nice.
With a drop that includes a Thanksgiving turkey sub. Carved slices of tender turkey breast, savory Thanksgiving stuffing, sweet and tart cranberry sauce, and mayo, served hot on a toasted sub roll.
I'm intrigued.
So Evan's hooking us up a month out from Thanksgiving. That's something I'm going to try, but I do see a lot of people out there circling Or I guess ping pong table / dining table.
Vultures, they are. Vultures.
You said it.
Good job,
Jackals.
Firehouse Subs, though. Thank you for that. First thing for me tonight is the final high school football overtime of the season in the final week of high school football here on The Fan. Head over to The Fan 2 tonight if you would like to hear Olentangy hosting Berlin. We've got the CBJ against the Capitals tonight here on The Fan. So Lee and I will be with you after that, probably about a 10-15 start. We'll try to let you know what's going on and who's going to the postseason in Central Ohio football. I can't believe the last one is here already.
Hard to believe. Number 2 for me. I'm not a college basketball lunatic like our buddy Rhyme Time is.
Well, nobody is.
Nobody is. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody is. But I do love. So he gives you like all of these exhibitions, and I think this is a really cool thing that men's college basketball is doing. I'm sure they're doing it on the women's side as well. But they're doing these exhibition games. So, like for example, tonight Kentucky hosts Purdue in an exhibition game. And I think you can consume it if you want to. Darren Peterson, who's that kid I've been talking about forever, at Kansas. They play up against Louisville tonight. North Carolina is playing BYU. BYU's got the number 1 player in the country. So I think it's really cool that they're doing this and giving the fans a little bit of something along the way and just use it as an exhibition game. It's kind of a win.
So by now, you've probably seen the video of the Louvre heisters, of the robbers making their escape on that cherry picker, just in construction gear with the hard hats and the clipboards, like looking very official. The company that makes that specific cherry picker is using a photo of it for their advertising. This is Bacher, a German company, with the caption, quote, "If you're in a hurry, quiet as a whisper, thanks to its 230-volt electric motor." Like, those are the captions with the picture of the guys leaving the Louvre on their cherry picker.
Second thing for me, I'm not positive. I think I'm playing the final round of golf tomorrow. The Jack Daniels Jack Frost outing, a little 2-man scramble down at Foxfire. My dad and I always like to try to play in that if we can. Perfect timing this year that it's on the bye week, nothing really to do. So we're going to go out there and play a little golf tomorrow. It's going to be nice and crisp, but it sounds like we'll have some not only some swing lube, but swing lube that'll warm us up from the inside out. So that should be good.
Geez, little swing juice. It's all you need. That fits into my number 3. So we're going to play golf this weekend. Got to get one more round in, and then I got to get a round in November. So I needed to hold off and give me one more early November round. So I'm going to try to play at least one round every month this year. Obviously, not all of those will be in Ohio, but it got me thinking about, I've been sleeping this whole week with the window open or at least cracked. I sleep comfortable at 48 degrees. I mean, no, I'm not kidding you. 52 degrees. I'm comfortable. Just cozy.
Second thing for me, the Louvre heist has created, this might not be a copycat robbery, but from ABC News, masked robbers cut a hole in a concrete roof of a Florida mall before dropping in to steal 400 to 500 pairs of Nike and New Balance sneakers. The robbery occurred in the back storage room of a Champs Sporting Goods at the Treasure Coast Mall in Jensen Beach between midnight and 8 a.m. on Tuesday. The merchandise is valued between $40,000 and $50,000, and authorities say it's going to cost about $10,000 to repair the hole.
Wow. Final thing for me, don't go anywhere. Rothman and Ice coming up next. No AR. So on a bye week, Maddie said, you know what? Let's get the pregame show together.
Nice.
So not only does he have Depot, but he's got the Great Dane. Dane Sanzenbacher coming in as well.
Very exciting. That to look forward to, which is nice. We're back Monday to break down another weekend of football action. Enjoy it, kids. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Common man, radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good clean boy, moonlights